right, hello, all of you wonderful, wonderful people. It is your boy Rylionn, and for the first time in a very long time, I have the pleasure of introducing Mr. Wookie Monster himself. Wookie, how are you doing today? I'm also very excited about this matchup, but not nearly half as excited as I am to see your face, my friend, on the cast once again. I love it. I love to see it. But it's going to be a great game as well. It is going to be XRising Esports Reborn versus Turniips Tots. Two very formidable teams, two teams that have been with us for quite some time, even through the name changes on both of them. And it is going to be a very, very banger series. That is for certain. But there can only be one winner, and, we haven't had your opinion here in quite some time. And before we get into drafts, before we go over anything, um, you're muted, by the way. Um, is there
Oh, there we go.
anything at all that, like, or who
Oops.
do you think is going to win overall based off of the regular season itself?
Based off the regular season, I honestly will go with the Turnips Tots. I feel like they've been performing actually really well throughout the entire split. Yes, they have dropped from first, maybe once or twice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it's gonna be a banger series for sure. It's a best of five, so
Yep.
uh, this is definitely it's gonna be a long one. And since it's starting so late, be prepared, have your popcorn, have your energy drinks, whatever you need. It's gonna be a good
Yes.
series, and you'll definitely need it.
You most certainly will. And spread the link. We want to get as many people in here as we possibly can. And I'll have the same thing said as I did at the DSS finals. We get 75 people. I will drop 25 subs in chat for you guys. Just go ahead, get everybody in here. You might win a sub. Who knows? But
Sure.
getting started here, XRising is going to be on blue side, starting off for game number one, with Turnips Tots on the red side. Draft will be starting relatively soon, so we'll get that up and ready for you guys.
Yep.
But, I mean, with the current meta, how things are going, what champions do you expect to be pick and banned so far? Do you think they're going to go with comfort, or do you think they want to go with, like, in the meta currently?
I think they're going to go with a little bit of both. We saw a lot of really wild picks last time from XRising, specifically Techi on the Master E, and it did really well,
That's true.
much to their surprise. So they're also kind of learning new things, and Ohio showing up again for the second time during the playoffs is actually pretty good. I think he performed really well last time. Same thing on the other
Yeah.
side, though. Juggernaut, always the split push master himself. Definitely
Yep.
looking for those top lane bans, and honestly, I think a lot of it is gonna be we're gonna have a lot of aggressive games. I feel, just
Yeah.
based on how all of these players play, just seeing all the stats, lineups, all of that, the history. We saw a lot of good picks coming out early on in the season from Turnips Tots. That's why they've been doing so well. Some of it was
Right.
comfort. Some of it was, new things. Some of it was just adaptability, right? I think that's the name of the game, is to just be able to adapt. So I'm seeing a lot of spicy picks these games. So we'll have to look forward to the draft. Game one is going to be a banger, like you've already stated. XRising is on blue side, and Turnip Sauce is on red side. We're waiting for them to get into the draft really quickly, but I feel like game one is definitely gonna be a show, right? Like, this is the game that is gonna determine, like, hey, can we expect more out of either of these teams? Whichever one loses this game, like, can we expect the comeback like we've always seen? I think it's always a mythic thing where the comeback is real, the mental reset is real, and I'm looking forward
Yeah.
to the 5 games.
As am I. And let's go ahead and break it down for you guys. You guys know it's XRising. You know it's Turnip Tots. Let's get to know the players here a little bit while draft is on screen. So for the side of XRising Esports, we have No One Likes Ohio in the top lane, Techi Tets in the jungle, XRes Cappy in the mid lane, Nyla Rework in the ADC role, and Mustard Cat, the wonderful Mustard Cat, as support. And for the side of Turnips Tots, we have Juggernaut in the top side, Turnips, the man himself that the team is named after, in the jungle, No Trite in the mid lane, GG No Rematch on ADC, and Mr. Shmee on support. Both teams with a lot of goated members. I mean, I must say, like, these players are, like, absolutely phenomenal in their own regards. Ohio, relatively new to everybody, but like you said earlier, Wookie, I think he was a great addition, and seeing him now for the second or third time
Yeah.
Is I think a great job for the side of XRising Esports. And Juggernaut, don't fall asleep on that man now, okay?
Yeah, I
But
mean, looking towards kind of the ADC and support roles on both sides, they're very two good duos. We got Nyla Rework and Mustard Cat and Gigi No Re and Mr. Shmee. Those are two names that have been popping up in previous Mythic esports leagues. So definitely looking forward to that. Look at the bands though. We see
yeah.
we see Mustard Cat's Yumi band, and then we see
Oh,
Cappy's
instant.
instant the Cappy's Akali, and then we see Techi's Master Yi. That was actually, I mean, it's being hover right now. I'm pretty sure they're gonna lock it in. That did extremely well in the last series, so they're kind of afraid of that. On the other side, we got Diego and York. They did lose one ban because they do have Ohio role swapped Techi into the jungle, like Rylionn had stated. So XRising is going to go ahead and pick up Nasus. I think that's great. Take it away from Juggernaut, which is going to be countered by Garen, but Ohio has proven us that he can sustain in the top lane there. So kind of looking forward to that matchup, seeing how that goes. It might even be a separate kind of split pusher. Oh, they're hovering something else, waiting for the lock in here, but they definitely have options. They don't actually have to lock in a top laner right now, right? They don't have to immediately counter because Juggernaut does have a good champion pool to work with here. So yeah, and then the Silas, that's aggressive early on. That's an interesting one. You don't ever see that unless someone picks Malphite or something like that with a good ultimate, but that just means that it gives kind of XRising a little bit of leeway. Like, yeah, maybe they shouldn't give too many good ultimates over. And speaking of giving too many good ultimates over, Nocturne and Vigar pickup, that's actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. And they are gonna round it out with Garen here. It looks like. What do you think so far? Like, this is a weird draft to me.
It is a weird draft. Like you said, Silas, super bullish pick here in the very beginning. I definitely agree with that because normally it's a response to the great ultimates. Picking the Silas second really makes you think about, or should make you think about, picking certain champions because you don't want to get their ultis on over. Meanwhile, Nocturne insta-locked along with Vigar being next, the Primordial Burst, having to go with that AP. Now he also has the mobility aspect if he does take Nocturne's ulti, at any point in time. But I do like the Garen. I think the early Conqueror, he's probably going to be going that instead of Grasp. Into Gnosis is going to be a little bit suppressive. He's not going to allow Gnosis to farm. We've seen Juggernaut on the Gnosis before, so he knows how to counter it, definitely. And I think Garen, no mana, relatively short cooldowns, Q spams all day. It's going to be pretty difficult for Gnosis to farm early on. But anyways, Gnosis is just going to farm regardless, as long as it gets to the late game. So I think TT needs to go ahead and shut it down early, which is what they're obviously going to try to do. And then if XRising does make it to the late game, they have the Gnosis backup and they have the Vigar backup. They definitely don't want to make it to 30-40.
A classic pick coming out from Turniips Tots is Seraphine. Seraphine has been flexed before, with GG. GG has played Seraphine, and Mr. Shmee also plays Seraphine, so that is definitely a good flex. I think she's one of the most flexible champions right now in the meta, so I'm glad to see that kind of pick up there. I'm surprised XRising really didn't ban it. I guess they wanted to really shut out Turniips himself and Juggernaut with the two top lane bans, or the top lane and jungle ban rather. So that was an interesting let through, because I mean Seraphine, we have always seen Seraphine from either of those two people on Turniips Tots, so it's a little surprising, but hey, I guess they are worried about better things. And rounding out the bans here, we got a bot side ban coming out from Turniips Tots with the Sivir and the Braum. Sivir is strong in the meta right now, so that doesn't surprise me too much. Braum is a little interesting. I'm not sure. I know Mustard has played it before and is pretty proficient on it, but I really don't see any ADCs that are really too prominent with him other than Lucian right now. So a little bit interesting to see, but we do see the Lee Sin picked up for Turniips. This is going to be, this is definitely so Silas is confirmed probably going mid lane here, and then Garen going in the top side. So it's definitely going to be an interesting, you have to end this early. Otherwise, if any of your characters on the side lanes get shut down, it's going to be really hard to come back unless you have some sort of scaling ADC. So
absolutely.
And they're going to go with a safe pick, Ezreal. Okay.
I like how defensive they're both kind of playing with their picks. I mean, Vigar has the cage, so even if they do steal some of the ultimates here, like Nocturnes, I don't think Vigar cage stuns the Nocturne as he's flying through the air, but it is a good zoning tool all the way around. So, being able to that silence is just such a good pick, and once again, just picking it that early, and it is very interesting to me because you're just giving up all these free ultimates, and the bot lane. Okay, I kind of like that. Ezreal Morgana. Not two duos that you typically see together. You see like a Caitlyn Morgana or like Zeri or someone like that. But I like the Morgana pick just in general. Able to get the encore off of them. What you said, once again, that champion alone being the huge flex pick and also just being like the tie turner in a lot of the fights, the 5v5s, that encore is massive. So, it's unfortunate that Silas can't steal ultis from his own people because, double encore would be broken as all hell. But who do you think, would be a really good ADC for the side of Turniips at this moment in time? Zeri, possibly, because of the movement speed? Or who would you be thinking?
For Seraphine, it looks like... Oh, okay. I think she is. That last pick was supposedly Alistar, so that's an interesting pick right there. So it does mean that GG is gonna rock with the Seraphine, his AP Seraphine, and the Alistar there. So interesting, very interesting.
Very.
I did not expect that. I mean, I expected GG to play Seraphine, but I didn't expect.
Yeah.
They have no AD carry. They have to end this early, otherwise Ezreal will just scale to oblivion. Morgana's a good pickup here, though, because Morgana, I don't know, honestly, it's not a really good practice to pick tanky, CC-heavy champions, especially the single-target ones, into a Morgana, but maybe they have some sort of strategy up their sleeve. But I have dropped the predictions, so go ahead and drop your channel points, your gemstones on that one. I'm actually kind of leaning towards XRising on this one. How about you?
Okay, so you think Turniips is going to win overall, but XRising is going to take game one.
Yeah,
okay, I feel it.
Definitely. Just based on draft.
I really have to agree with that, actually. XRising, I love their Vigar pick. I love their Nasus pick. The Alistar is a little bit confusing. He's definitely... I mean, he's a great tank, don't get me wrong. But that's when you have... you pick Alistar when you have a front line that needs to be there. Seraphine does not do the consistent enough damage to... gauge this much of a front line between Garen, who I think most of the damage is going to be falling on, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And then, all the other characters are just trying to go ahead and set up for the Garen. So that's really going to be the key target for the side of XRising. And, Ezreal isn't the most consistent DPS, basic attack heavy ADC. But the poking that he has and the mobility with the Arcane Flash, that's going to make him a little bit more difficult to hit with, all of these skill shots that they really need to land to secure these kills. Plus, the zoning aspect from the Morgana and the Vigar. And they have to get through Nasus, who's either going to stick to split pushing, which is going to bring Garen their only damage out of everything, or some other key member, Silas? I don't see an angle for Turniips Tots unless they win early.
Yes, they have to. That is the name of the game here. And a lot of these teams, especially, sometimes it is XRising that fall into the trap of, we could just scale, right? We're going to get through the early game. But when you have, when you're up against a team comp like this, you have to be very careful how you play the early game. The first 5 minutes is the most crucial part of the game here. And if one kill is given over to the right person, that's going to be that lane is over, right? You can't... Unless you get help, that lane is over, and that means that your jungler has to go to that side, and it might end up in their favor. They might get through the early game okay, but they really have to be careful. And I do think they have the tools to kite out the side of Turniips Tots. Like you said, the cage, the Morgana binding, the wither. But it's definitely going to be hard, especially since these teams have not fought each other, right? They don't know each other's playstyles at all. Unless they've done their, scouting from other games, but it's definitely different when you're live on stage and playing in this game. This is a best of 5, so yes, this game doesn't mean too much in the grand scheme of things. However, it's definitely important motivational game right here, right?
It definitely is. And another big thing that I just noticed right now, looking at the draft, Nocturne's only target is going to be Seraphine. That
Oh yeah.
Seraphine is not going to be safe at all. So who cares about this front line when you have a member that can literally just dive onto the back? And with Alistar having to either A, stay in the back with Seraphine, that's going to... No, I'm not a robot, Loople. Thank you. But yeah, that's going to cause, once again, another big issue just for how that comp is like made to run in general. Because Gnosis doesn't really like to stick in a 5v5, so he's going to stick to the side lanes. That looming threat of Nocturne always being around, being able to go into anywhere, it's just a big threat. Right? Not to mention, Seraphine has to be protected at all times. And that's going to be through Alistar, which means that they have no engage.
Right.
So I only been an extra favor, and like you see on screen here, Pro Comps is going to agree with us. Early game, going to go on over to Turniips Tots, but late game, as the game progresses, is going to be in XRising's favor. And that's more than just the Vygar Gnosis. I know it's a big chunk of it. That's not all of it, though.
Yeah, I wanna restate how important Ezreal is in this matchup. Like, he has to get late game so he can start kiting with the Muramana, and maybe he could even go the Glacial Gauntlet, Frostborn Gauntlet, just for that kiting ability, right? We've seen a lot of blue Ezreal builds in the past. Wouldn't surprise me if it is picked up again. It's a great scaling item. It keeps him a little bit more alive against these all-in type of champions, right? Like the Garen, the Lee Sin, the Sylas. So definitely looking forward to that. That's gonna be crucial to their late game. And as you can see on the screen, I feel like split is the name of the game here. Whoever, we have to look at the top lane though. I think the top lane is going to be the most important part in these first 5 minutes of the game. If something happens and one of the top laners gets ahead, that could split the game wide open. And I would love to see it, but I would also love to see the good micro and macro play coming out from both of these teams. We know they have gotten here through sweat, blood, and tears. So definitely drop your channel points. And like I said, I think XRising can do what it takes to get to late game, but it's gonna be hard.
It will be difficult. That is for certain. It's not going to be an easy task for either team at all. And I just like the fact that Turniips has to play aggressive early, so we're going to have some serious action in the first couple of minutes here. Lee Sin's going to want to get to lanes as quickly as possible, while Nocturne's going to try to want to farm up and reach level 6. You know, that's pretty much his one and only target, just like Evelynn. The sooner they hit 6, the better everything is for them. And then once that happens, you know, that top lane, you know, Garen and Gnosis, I expect Garen once again to go with the Conqueror build. You know, if he goes Grasp the Undying, he's just looking to be like a late game tank. But I don't know if that's going to work well into the scaling Gnosis per se. But we will see in just a couple moments. So we're going to take it to a quick break, though, while we get ready here for the in-game delay. Do not go anywhere. Game 1, XRising Esports Reborn versus Turniips Tots, Wookie, and Rylionn. We'll be right back.
Everybody, panic! Hold on. I'm about to say something really cool. 3, 41, 9, and lift off! No one dies screaming without me. I feel like I forgot to shoot something. You're starting to bore me. She's such a loser, always ready to cry. Da-da-da-da. Ah, come on. What's the worst that could happen?
Am I breaking through? Am I breaking through? Am I breaking through? breaking through. Am I breaking through? Am I breaking through?
All right, welcome back, all of you wonderful, wonderful people. It is your boy Rylionn and Wookie Monster here, bringing you all the action. SBS semifinals here. XRising Esports Reborn versus Turniips Tots. XRising will be on blue side. Turniips Tots will be on red side here for game number 1. And we have some interesting picks. Let's see if it works out for them. We're hopeful, but I don't know.
Yeah,
hope for the
I
best,
mean,
expect the worst, as
exactly.
always.
One thing I will say about Turniips Tots side, they do have a good amount of lockdown, especially single target. So if anybody gets caught, and like I've been saying this entire time, if anybody gets the clean kills with no repercussions, it's gonna snowball. And that's what their comp is kind of designed to do, right? So Ohio kind of stepping up a little bit too far.
Yep. Blindly stepping into the lane here, getting some good Conqueror, getting some autos off. Conqueror stacks building.
Oh, but that's huge. That means he can't have as
bit.
much pressure in the lane. Garen is a lane bully, so that's gonna do wonders. And look at this award right here. This is a really good award from Turniips Tots. So yeah, that is definitely a good, insightful information coming out from Turniips Tots.
Oh. Yes, the title of...
Oh, yeah, I will change that in a second here.
That's alright, no worries. But, yeah, it is definitely going to be a good thing. I mean, Nasus, he just went ahead, burned his early health pot there to go ahead and at least able to stay in lane. That way he's not getting bullied out. But, yeah, once that level 2 hits, it's going to be a little bit different. Those Conqueror stacks will be building up like no tomorrow. And, we'll definitely see Garen, the lane bully, like you said, early on, which is what we all expected. But it's about the late game that matters here in this situation. Vigar, Nasus. I guess you could also say Ezreal is somewhat more of a late game champ. I mean, he kind of pops off mid to late game. It's his early game that's always a little iffy because he either builds a tier, or in this case, went with the Cole. How do you feel about the Cole?
So
I've seen it a couple times recently, but
it's definitely a good, if you're waiting until late game to just kind of pop off late game, that is the go-to item here. What is Cappy doing? Holy.
Oh, he's trying to step up. I don't know what he's doing in their jungle.
Maybe he was trying to get some deep ward, something there.
He didn't drop nothing.
He did not drop anything. Or maybe he just didn't have the time to do so, as scary turnips right in his face. But at least that gives him information on whereabouts Lee Sin is. And yeah, like I was saying though, Cole is definitely the item to kind of Cappy almost getting really low there. But yeah, Cole's the item to basically sit back, just farm till late game. That's it. That's all it's really designed to do. You get the power spikes from it, and if you don't plan on fighting, well, that is the item. Oh, okay.
Oh, very nice. Turnip's actually going to go ahead and steal that with the smite. Double invade here for the jungle. Forced to flash over the wall, Techi does. And Ohio now making his way down here. Q's going to get thrown out just for dominance. And maybe a little bit of damage in there as well, but no Lee Syndrome here just yet. They know Turnips and they know his playstyle. They definitely could anticipate him not running away just yet. The Wither's going to go down, taking a few hits, but I think he's able to ward hop out of there in just a couple of moments. Or actually might
he doesn't. Yeah, there it is.
There we go.
Oh no, Cappy's low.
Uh-oh. Yeah, Cappy's pretty low, but Juggernaut also is pretty low. No try coming in from the backline, but it's not going to make it in time, and a first blood picked up by Cappy with the Starfall. I don't know why Turnips didn't even try to go up. Not really good communication there from the side of Turnips Tots. Not typically something that we see. And hold on one second. Good engage here onto Nyla rework from Mr. Shmee. GG no rematch though. Not able to quite follow up in time. You know, Mustard just trying to get a little bit of vision cleared, which is nice, but when you leave your ADC open, expect those kinds of engages. Not sure if the Arcane Flash was on like cooldown or what was going on there, but
she had used it. She had used it. She had not used it quite fast enough, but she did get away from certain death. At least that is the plus there. But looks like Mr. Shmee's robbed up here. Oh no, Cappy.
Yep, he's walking definitely the wrong way to try to proc this tower here. Mr. Shmee, like you said, with a nice roam into the mid lane. Turnips just for good measure. Good flash coming in from Cappy. Oh! To try to get the stack, but it didn't work. Oh, the stun was available.
Auto attack. I think he auto attacked a minion. I think.
Yeah, I saw that one right there.
Yeah. Oh man, some misplays coming out from Turnips Tots. This is not how they want this to go. They want to be getting these early leads, and Cappy might be a bit too far forward.
Oh man, the Hex Flash. Great setup by Mr. Shmee once again with no flash available. Cappy gets taken down by no try. That was a great turnaround here. I love the use of the Hex Flash. Really, really short cooldown. But at the same time, you know, I was going to say maybe GG no rematch was suffering a little bit. Not even close. Still doing really well in farming aspects. Picked up an early Dark Seal. I don't like that. Personally, I don't think that's a good pickup. You know, if you're trying to go APC, I don't know if he expects a lot more action in the bot lane. If we're going to see Turnips down there trying to go for some maybe risky early dives or setting up for the dragon. But it doesn't matter.
It's kind of mainly early skirmishes. I mean, once Seraphine hits 6, that's a huge power spike for her. She wants to get into these tight-knit corners in the jungle and kind of engage in these skirmishes as much as possible. Definitely, it is a valid pickup here, but no turret.
Oh no.
Okay.
I mean, that was a good try by No Try to go ahead and secure the dragon. Forced to flash, though, out of the dragon pit, as he didn't know that there were 3 of them actually sitting in there. So, that's kind of a little win right there for the side of XRising. But, you know, Turnips still looking pretty good. Up by about 500 gold at the moment. Farm-wise, everyone's looking pretty solid. Everyone's up on the side of Turnips Tots. So that is a little victory for them as well. It's just going to really be, can they get to the late game with enough stats? It's not just getting to the late game, but you have to have the stacks on top of it in order to really be formidable come the late game.
Yeah, definitely.
No one likes Ohio here. Good engage on the Juggernaut, getting a little bit of damage, but definitely on the losing side. One more bonk for good measure, though, as he walks away. And picking up the early Sheen, that's some good damage here coming in from Ohio. I like that, but Divine Sunderer or Trinity Force?
For Juggernaut?
For Ohio.
Ohio? Probably going to be the Divine. I mean, there's a lot of tanky members on the other side, and he wants to get as much stacks as possible, so definitely looking at that Divine right now.
True. Okay, and what about for Juggernaut? I didn't even think about Trinity Force or you know, the choice between the two, but which do you think would be the more beneficial? And,
Oh, wait a
no,
minute.
Cappy stepping up in a 2v3, actually. Turnips kind of getting chunked down a little bit, but a nice engage comes in from Mr. Shmee to lock him down, and no try with the stolen ultimate from Cappy, uses it against him, the Primordial Burst takes him down. Techi also getting pretty low here with the nice fancy feet, dodges the Lee Sin Q. Now we have a 4v2 situation, bot lane's showing up a little bit too late, good engage in the Encore, missing from a great flash coming in through Mustard Cat, though. A lot of resources used, but not really a whole lot gained from the side of Turnips tossing. Ooh, that's a lot of damage. Mustard Cat and Techi both really low, and Shmee unfortunately picks up the kill on the side of XRising. Oh, I'm sorry, on the side of Turnips Tots. It's a bummer, but still getting up on the board.
I'm not sure why what they were trying to do without level 6 right there. They definitely needed that before they try to, you know, counter invade here. I think they're a little bit stepping too much forward here.
Yeah, I mean, look at the farm currently on No Trite. I mean, 57 with 2 and 0 now to the 1 and 2 and 39 farm Cappy. Like, Vigar is, just like Nos, is made to be farming. Like, that's what they're supposed to do. You just throw Qs out, Qs out, Qs out, Qs out. You know, you get a few kill steals when you can when your jungler comes, but a lot of early roams that aren't paying off for Cappy at the moment.
Yeah, Cappy did get one really great kill at the beginning. Oh, wait a minute, Juggernaut.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's going to use Ghost to engage there along with the Ignite. Turnips is going to make his way, but Ultimate... Oh, no, the man is not available for Ohio here. Oh, the Divine Judgment, but it's not enough with the great Ultimate. Comes in from Touchy Touch with the follow-up gank, and that is going to be one member down here for the side of Turnips Toss. Throwing out the blind Q while the darkness or the paranoia was up was pretty big. The Primordial Burst, unfortunately, Nightfall didn't land. Almost takes him down all the way, but not quite. Good dash away from the Q. And No Trite survives with his life. Mr. Shmee with some invading of his own. Ohio's going to try to help his buddy. Turnips showing up once again a second too late here. Stopping the back from Ohio is going to leave him susceptible to a potential dive. But no, not level 6 yet from Alistar. Doesn't want to push it too far yet.
Yeah, No Turd is starting to feel the damage come out from Cappy now. I feel like, yes, he doesn't have as much farm as No Turd, but Cappy definitely, you know, Vigar stacks still mean something, right? And, you know, having that one kill actually helped out a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. And still, farming is looking really good on the side of Turnips Tots here. Also, going to be securing this Rift Scuttle to get some plating potentially within the next couple of minutes. And, I mean, if they just keep this up, they might be able to just constantly outpace no matter what goes on. And Mr. Schmeech is going to go ahead and try to get the engage there, but no one's going to turn up as well and takes down Turnips Tots themselves. But no, it did go on over to Turnips Tots, the Rift Scuttle there.
Yep.
Mr. Schmeech forced to flash. That was so close, though, from the side of XRising. I definitely like that. And does make it out with their life. So 1 for 0, but they did pick up the Rift Scuttle. Great roam coming in from Ohio. Is going to secure 1 kill as well and puts him on the board. So very nice moves from both sides, but sheesh.
Yeah, sheesh indeed. That was close. I definitely thought Mustard took that one, but she's only level 5. She doesn't have as much damage on her as well, so if it was a little bit more, it would have definitely stolen that.
Yeah. And GG No Rematch also not being a part of any of these fights, just really sticking to the bot lane farming. 87, 0, 0, and 1. I mean, look at all the stacks also on Tear of the Goddess. Like, she's setting herself up for success come the late game, trying to be that utility, not so much as the damage, as we said. Actually, it looks like No Trite's going to be taking on that responsibility more than likely here. You know, Juggernaut trying to pop off, but not looking too hot at the moment with the 0-2.
Yeah,
later in the game, he'll be a
really good play here. Going to drop the Rift Herald. That's going to get a charge off. That's going to get some plates for them. Oh, wait.
Oh, no. Mustard Cat's going to go ahead and get caught out. It's super low, but hold on one second. Now the rework from the bot lane. The Encore is going to hit. Does take down Mustard Cat with the snipe on the back. And it's going to be 2 members down here for the side of XRising. Good flash from Cappy to get out of there, but hold on one second. Ohio not making his way, but I don't know if he has the stats to go ahead and keep up with this. Ultimate is going to get popped, but Turnips is going to go ahead and kick him away right into the Vigar cage, though. Nice job from No Trite to go ahead and secure the kill onto Ohio, and that's going to be 2 members running for the lives. Nyla, unfortunately, falling to Turnips once again, who is now 1-1-4, and GG No Rematch picking up his first kill there onto Cappy, and a lot of action, but all of that in favor of Turniips, Tots, definitely.
Yeah,
I
I'm
would
not
say
sure what.
4-0 and 2.
Oh, so pops the paranoia, but didn't engage anywhere. I guess didn't have a target, didn't see anybody, maybe, or yep, it didn't not see anybody there. This is interesting, though.
Yeah,
Wait.
Dragon's getting super low here. Hex Tech, it could go in anyone's favor, but no! Red team is actually going to go ahead and secure that one. Very nice terms. Looking real low, but doesn't matter. The shields are coming in clutch from GG No Rematch. And that is all she wrote there for Techi. I mean, in the early game, they all look pretty solid, but I don't know where the miscommunication is coming from. There's a lot of roaming. They left themselves, not able to farm early on, and it's definitely catching up to them right now. I mean,
yeah, they're not coordinating enough. I feel like they're just really out of sync right now. I'm not sure what's going on, but because it feels like they are just kind of trying to take every fight that they can right now, and that's not their game plan, right? Their game plan is just to scale. But Ohio came down there, didn't have anything to do, and just got himself killed. So that's a lot of plates that Juggernaut took, and then the rest of the team is still deathless almost.
That is very, very true. I mean, that's going to leave them with some good shutdowns, if they're able to do it, though. Really, the only Fed member on the team is Vigar, and I use Fed a little bit loosely here. He has 2 kills, but, once again, the farm not looking so hot on the side of XRising at the moment, so I think they have to play turtle style a little bit, try not to engage in these fights. I know the side of Turniips Tots is going to want to now engage as much as possible, but XRising really needs to go ahead and step back a little bit. And hold on, another great roam coming in from Turniips Tots here, and No Try's going to pick up that easy kill with Mr. Shmee. I mean, Shmee has done a great job setting up the mid lane right now. Also, making his way, getting that invade as well in Gromp a little bit early. I mean, Shmee has just been all over the map, showing his presence, and it's been a little bit of a game changer here. The tank, the Alistar is pretty solid, I'm not gonna lie. We were surprised. I'm surprised.
Yeah, no, I expected it, but I feel like Cappy should be expecting it by now. He's been ganked like that like 3 or 4 times and has fallen susceptible to that. He has to stay and manage his lane in a way that he doesn't get repeat ganked like that.
That is very true. I mean, he does have the ward in the middle bush there, but hold on, Paranoia is going to be utilized. Oh, nice engage on to Nyla rework here. The Encore is going to hit all 4 members of XRising, but hold on, a shutdown getting picked up by Cappy with the Primordial Burst onto No Try there. Good zone is going to be used by Mustard Cat, but I think she might still fall. No, the flash is going to come in clutch. Turniips Tots has a focus on to Nyla rework there. Definitely target number 1, and with the APC snipe from the backside, GG No Rematch with a double kill, and he is not done yet. Good sidestep from Cappy, though, to miss the seismic Q, and it's not going to be enough, though. The second one up in just a couple moments, but wait a second! That was a lot of... Nope.
He lives.
Did he get it?
Yeah.
He lives! Oh my god.
Yep, and
Mr.
he gets out of there.
Did not want us to do that.
No, he
That's
gets out
insane.
of there. Wow. What a play.
That was a great job from Turniips here. Very smooth. Good sidestep, but the cooldown a little bit too good.
Cappy didn't even attempt to sidestep there. He just ran it straight.
I don't think he expected it. That was so short.
Well, yeah.
I didn't expect the Q up to be up that
Lee
fast.
Sin has
wow.
very, very short cooldowns in his abilities because he doesn't use mana. I mean, it's kind of the same with all energy-based champions. They don't have relatively long cooldowns. Take a look at Akali, for instance. Even with the Aaron, his Q's on pretty much a short cooldown, and his E as well later into the levels there. So, kind of have to expect that. I mean, you should be trying to dodge regardless of whether you think it's up or not. Just to throw them off. It's a good tip to always try to do that.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I'm also going to take that into my solo games, the wisdom from Wookie, as we like to call it here. But yeah, I don't really know what the side of XRising needs to do at the moment. I think Cappy's just blindly throwing it in there. Doesn't exactly know that that No Try's just sitting there, but I mean, he stepped out, so.
Yeah, he's
Still
definitely
very
playing a
interesting.
little bit more careful now on top side. Stuff is happening here.
Ohio's kind of bonking a little bit hard at the moment. Let's see how many stacks he has. 270. So he's getting up there a little bit, and with his tower being down, that's going to allow the wave to go ahead and push into him a little bit easier, and that's going to allow also Juggernaut to maybe overextend. I don't really know what role Juggernaut wants to play here. Has the Trinity Force, but he can't really split push as effectively. Nice engage once again from Mr. Shmee. Goes on to the backline. The Encore's going to hit the 2 key members. Juggernaut with the ultimate, takes down Techi. Ohio's going to be the only one left here. Definitely left to his lonesome. Nyla with the ultimate, but it doesn't matter. Mustard Cat was already taken out of the equation. 3 members down now for the side of XRising, and Turniips Tots is turning up here in game number 1. I mean,
Yeah.
they are not walking out of here, you know, like, oh, that was a hard-fought game. No, they want this to be a stomp, and they are definitely proving that right now.
Yeah, I think it's also based on, like, I don't know what's going on with XRising, but we've seen this type of comp in the previous quarterfinals game where they kind of just, you know, let the game get to late game and then pull out the fights and the stops, but they're just succumbing to every fight that Turniips Tots has an advantage in, and they're paying the reparations for it. So here we go again.
Sonya is going to be used on No Try. Oh, the Primordial Burst is going to be used super early. I'm not sure what that was by Cappy. Might have been a misclick. Another good binding to go ahead and take out Turniips, or at least catch him out. And Ohio's doing some serious damage here, but he's the only member of the team that is not low at the moment. I say that just as soon as he gets low, and No Try's going to go ahead and take down Ohio. The Paranoia is going to go in with a sliver of health left. Does get taken down finally. Down goes No Try. Nyla, though, along with Mustard Cat, unfortunately going to get sniped there. Another ultimate being used by Juggernaut. And I don't even know what they could do at this point. GG No Rematch is no mana, but still doing the work. It has enough just for these spells to come through, and I don't even know, man. This is not looking good. They're fighting in these tight-knit areas where Encore works the best. Nyla, having no vision, is going to step up for an easy kill to be given on over to Turniips here. I mean, they are just red carpet game number 1 for Turniips Tots right now.
Yeah, definitely in their advantage. It's 10k gold lead. I don't really have much else to say. I think that you know, they did the job. It's gotten to 20 minutes. I mean, granted, it's not fully late game yet, but they still need to finish out the game. It's not over yet. And if they keep giving up some shutdown gold, it might turn in their favor, but it's really hard if XRising keeps taking these fights that are not in their advantage, and it's gonna just keep on going this way if they don't change up something right now.
Could not agree more. And, you know, jungle objective-wise, they've been managing to keep up a little bit. I know both rifts have gone over to the side of Turniips Tots, but, you know, still securing that early Infernal, I think that's a pretty big victory all on its own. Making sure that they're not on soul point by the 20-minute mark. Didn't think that we'd be at 7-21 at 20 minutes, but, you know, I definitely expected it to be a high kill game just in both teams' favor. And they want to pull the Baron trigger here early, right at the 20-minute mark. That's pretty nice. Mr. Shmee's doing a good job of trying to zone out. The teleport coming in here from No Try onto the backside. No one else is available for the side of XRising, and that's going to be 2 members. No one likes Ohio's trying to do what he does. Ultimate gets popped, but no, that is so much damage. And being a healthy tank like that is exactly where Juggernaut wants you to be with the damage output that he has. A great ulti is going to go ahead and secure that, and 2 members down is going to leave Baron open pretty much uncontested now.
Oh.
And No Try with the Nocturne ulti being used here onto Mustard Cat. I don't really know what to say right now for XRising. I mean, it's kind of game over for the turtle because we're at 20 minutes. So they're not going to allow you to just freely do that. Plus, you don't have the luxury of having your, you know, tier 1 towers to, you know, rely on and fall back on. So you have to wait for the waves to come into you. But they're not really going to be hard pushing all that much. Or they will now with the Baron in 1 lane, but
oh no.
not in all to me,
Nyla
the
rework.
roams coming in. These Moby boots are coming in clutch for Mr. Shmee, and he is definitely doing everything he can to keep Nyla in that spot, so that way No Try, who's just going to sit there and dance around a little bit, let Mr. Shmee work a little bit harder. A little bit of the BM comes in from No Try, but Nyla rework does get taken out with ease. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we do have the Paranoids going to be used here on Turniips, getting taken down quite low. Primordial Burst already used once again a little bit early here by Cappy. And now that GG No Rematch has shown up to the action, that's going to give him a little bit of sustain and shields here to allow the push to continue with the Baron now in all 3 lanes. This is how you want to use Baron, folks. I can't say this enough. We don't see this kind of Baron usage typically. You know, definitely not very often. And meanwhile, underneath their own tower, oh, unfortunately, No Try gets the kill there onto Techi. This very squishy champions, the Encore. Oh, that was such a great job getting the Black Shield out before the Encore hit. And that's a double kill given on over to No Try. And Okay, I think this might be the ending here for game number 1 with the Baron. You know, top lane, I mean, he's trying to stop the advancement from Juggernaut, but with the other 4 members of Turniips Tots just being as forceful as they are here in the bot lane, I mean, I definitely don't see them backing out from here. That's going to be another kill given on over to the side of Turniips Tots, and with that, they could end it all here. They have Baron up for a little bit longer, a little wave of minions at their disposal, but nope, they're just going to go ahead, take their victory, push out the mid lane. I mean,
yeah,
I can't blame them.
Dragons coming
That's
up in
cool.
10 seconds. They could go back for that. They really can do whatever they want right now, and oh man.
Yeah, that was
It was close.
a good ulti. I was surprised by the ultimate not killing as well. I definitely thought he was low enough, but popping his ulti just at the right moment, you know, in order to get that extra help there, but without having Garen's ulti be the negative consequence of that, giving him even more damage. So, good reflexes there, and oh, nice binding followed up by the Vigor cage, but the zone is being popped by no trite. The True Shot Barrage, not enough damage, unfortunately. There goes the Paranoia onto the back line. A nice shutdown given on over to Techi. 1 for 1, though. Good trade, in my opinion. Still relatively short cooldowns. Everyone's still inside their base. So he could possibly be up, but with the 4 members still here, with the Barons as well, that's going to be at least 3 inhibs given on over to Turniips Tots.
Yeah, this is really rough for the side of XRising. There's not much they could really do about it either. There's just so many kills, so much gold in the pockets of Turniips Tots that they can really do whatever they want. And they haven't even taken Dragon yet. They don't care about it.
Nope. Not at all. And yeah, push out all 3, get 3 supers, or 3 lanes of supers just plowing into the side of XRising. I mean, that's going to leave these objectives open for the next couple of minutes, so even if they wanted to wait out for another Baron, they theoretically could with ease, just because of all the pressure now in every single lane. But at the same time, this is also going to allow them to farm up a little bit. A lot more stacks given on over to Ohio and to Cappy here. So, you know, that could possibly give them a little bit of an advantage if Ohio's able to position himself on the squishiest of targets. But Shmi has not been too kind to letting people get on over to his carries. So we'll see what happens here within this last team fight, because there's going to be at least 1 more before this game ends, definitely.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a team fight. Just kind of a lull state right now. I mean, honestly, there's not much to say. They're almost 20k gold ahead. It's kind of really sad to see, but you know, they're gonna clear some minions, so at least they're gonna get some more gold in their pockets. But XRising looking really rough right now. They can't do anything about their jungle being taken. They can't do anything about the objectives that are gonna spawn. They really can't do anything but farm.
Yeah, that is true. And I mean, Nasus has on him currently 405 stacks. So, I mean, he kind of hurts. It's just, unfortunately, every member at the same time. Oh, a Judgment already going to be used here by Juggernaut early. The Encore is going to go ahead and lock down Ohio, but the Flash is going to get popped. He does make it to safety. That's going to be 1 Nexus Tower that, oh, is not going to fall just yet. Good shutdown here, picked up by Mustard Cat, fighting underneath towers, but the 2 Nexus Towers are going to fall, and they definitely are going to focus down. 2 members already down here for the side of XRising. Third one to follow up very shortly there, and that is going to be the Nexus with all those supers and all that pressure. Game 1 given on over to Turniips Tots here in commanding fashion, 9-31.
Yeah, that was a lot of kills, and honestly there's not much to say about that match. You know, basically Turniips Tots did what we expected them to do, right? They got a lot of leads early. Sure, they might have fumbled here and there, giving away a couple of kills early on, but XRising just could not stand up to the early pressure, and they unfortunately took every fight that was thrown at them. So I think it's you know, better to at least learn from those mistakes and move on to the next game with a mental reset. So we'll see.
Yes, sir. And with that being said, let us get ready here for game number 2. So far, Turniips Tots takes the lead in the series 1-0 over XRising. But do not go anywhere. We'll be right back with more action. All right, hello, hello, all of you wonderful, wonderful people. It is your boy Rylionn, and joining me tonight is the man himself, Wookie Monster, GQ sexiest man for the 369th day in a row. It's
Oh
insane
boy.
how he keeps on. Oh yeah, and I have a live audience, by the way. So
Aw.
shout out to everybody who's tuned in person and in the stream here. What an exciting game number one. XRising versus Turniips Tots. Turniips Tots leads the series right now 1-0. And game number one, they did not let off any of the breaks whatsoever. Like, they fully went hardcore into XRising. And, you know, that early lead that Wookie and I were saying was like, you know, it's imperative. They have to get it.
They got it.
In order for them to...
They did it.
in order for them to be successful, well, they did it.
They
so,
did it. Yep. But they have switched
with that being
sides,
said-
so
They
you know
did.
we're about to get into draft of game two. I'm kind of looking for a lot of changes to, honestly, just the play style of XRising for them to pull out the next win here if they want to get it. You know, because they had a wonderful draft. Like, I feel like their draft picks were really good. They just didn't execute right on the composition that they had. I feel like they made a lot of mistakes very early on that led to TT just, you know, kind of dominating in their face, and it just continued throughout the entire game. So definitely looking forward to now draft. You know, it could be a good draft this time, and we'll see that again soon here. They did switch sides, so there's a chance that something different might happen on the side of XRising. They could play they could play that like a similar sort of comp to TT, but we'll have to see, because they do have a couple comps on hand. I feel like both these teams are very versatile when it comes to draft, so looking forward to it. Same bands, though.
I was right about to say that. I was like, both teams have a really good vision of what they want to get rid of. And once again, with them switching sides here, we now see the Gnosis ban, because they definitely don't want to give Juggernaut just a free farming.
They keep giving the Seraphine over. I feel like Seraphine is going to be the pick here, because, like, TT, it's a very versatile champion. Or it's going to be the Silas? Okay.
I mean, that was such a great pick. That was such a great pick for No Trite last game that, like, I don't see why they wouldn't go Silas. Because it doesn't matter what you pick on the side of XRising. It's just going to be, okay, give me your ulti. Whatever your best ulti is, I'm going to use against you. And, you know, that's a little bit of, like, a power move, like an alpha, on the side of Turniips Tots for first picking Silas here for now the second time in a row, or within the first three, I mean, but this time really first picking Silas. Is kind of crazy. Like you said, Seraphine not being picked up. One thing I was kind of hoping to see, and we do have the beginning of, is the Fudgelord comp that XRising went ahead and did just a couple weeks ago. You know, the Braum, the Anivia, the Trundle. I think those are going to be some really good picks. That was a very nice comp for them. It worked very well into everyone's play style. And, you know, I would expect or would like to see something like that early coming from them. So, you know, 1-0, they're not down too much, but I definitely don't want them to be on a 2-0 kind of, you know, rope.
Okay, Trundle being picked up. I like this a lot. Expecting the double melee. I mean, there could be it could be Silas top, but looking at No Turd again for having that Silas on hand is definitely the I guess the expectation here. Obviously, they can change up how they want, but I think the Trundle covers all your bases. It's also in the Freljord theme, and there's the Seraphine. Like I said, if it wasn't going to be picked up by XRising, yes, I would have loved to see them pick it, you know, against them. Just to maybe flex it, but I don't think Cappy plays it. The only one that would possibly play it is Mustard Cat, and Cappy has already picked the Anivia here, so would have loved to see it, but either way, Seraphine goes onto TT again. They're actually going to pick the Nocturne away this time, even though Trundle was already picked. I feel like this is good. This is good for the pick potential. They definitely want to try to have Turniips and No Turd kind of, you know, 2v2 again. Like they did last game. They got No Turd ahead on the Silas, and Silas is, like I've stated many times in the past, Silas is a chaotic champion. If you're not trying to fight early on, you're not doing it right. So having a jungler that enables that is definitely a good thing, especially when level 6 is achieved by Nocturne. So looks like they're going to pick up Scion for Ohio here. They're picking the side lanes again, so I I'm not sure if they want Nyla or Mustard Cat to be the counter pick here. It's definitely interesting because red side is usually a side where you want to counter pick a mid laner or a top laner here, but I guess they went ahead. They're like, we'll just pick the strongest because our pools are a little bit smaller for the side lanes than it is for the ADC and support positions. So I can see it there. Bans rolling out once again. The York banned out against Juggernaut. They banned out both of his mainstay champions, Nasus and York. So interested to see if he goes with the Garen again. He was making Nasus feel the pain last game, but once it scaled into the mid game, Nasus was kind of unstoppable without help. So we'll see what he picks again. This is I'm not really sure why they keep banning out the top lane here. Honestly, I feel like even banning out the some ADCs away from GG No Re might be viable. I mean, yes, they already picked Seraphine. Yes, it could go to Mr. Shmee, but I feel like, or at least limiting Mr. Shmee's champion pool, that could be another thing too. I know Mr. Shmee has a big champion pool, and limiting some of those key components that might shut them out might be a good idea. But whatever the case is, they are now into the picks. I feel like they want to keep on picking tankier champions, maybe. So, maybe it's gonna be the Xayah though. So we're gonna leave the counter pick over to Mustard Cat here.
Mustard, yeah.
Yeah.
I would expect to see maybe like a Xayah Rakan.
Okay.
They both obviously work very well together.
Yeah.
Plus the engage and the disengage is kind of a very key component here. Depending on the side of what Turniips picks, because if we see another Alistar, you don't want to be fighting an Alistar, who late game is just super tanky, has CC, with his roar has the sustain as well, and then his ultimate, which is like a 60% damage reduction. And hold on. So Seraphine is going to be the ADC again into Alawi top lane with a Silas mid once again, Nocturne jungle. Let's see what the support rounding out is. Would you expect another tank in this scenario, or do you think another sustain? Because we did see Raka Seraphine at one point.
Yeah, we have seen a lot. I mean, literally you could pair anything with Seraphine. That's why she's so good right now. She's very versatile. She's very flexible. You can literally do anything, and it looks like it is going to be the Zyra pick here. Interesting.
Okay.
But yeah, this is... Oh, it's Pyke. Okay. They keep making mistakes over on their side. Okay, so it is confirmed to be Pyke. It is not going to be Zyra. So I guess
Zyra equals Pyke.
Zyra equals Pyke. Definitely. We can see it here. But yeah, that's an interesting composition that they have. Normally, you don't ever see Seraphine and Pyke play together, but that's gonna round it out. And yeah, we have our second game of the series here. What is your gut instinct on this one?
Gut instinct. Okay. I'm going to go with Turniips in round 2 because Silas, immaculate last game. Like, absolutely immaculate. They have the Nocturne, and just the Seraphine once again. The Encore into the Alawi ulti into a Zyra. Like, the Wombo on the side of Turniips, phenomenal. If XRising, though, can be selfish and not roam as hard as they did early on last game, they have a really good comp going on here. The Anivia is able to go ahead and zone out in all the team fights. Amazing. Xayah is able to go ahead and do the Feather Storm along with Rakan's Charm, locks down everybody. Meanwhile, Sion ultis either onto the front line, knocks up the Alawi, knocks up the Silas, because those are going to be the only two frontliners that they have. Nocturne's going to jump onto the back line. Rakan's going to knock his ass up. Doesn't care about that. I love XRising's answers to everything that Turniips has. They just have to be selfish and not roam as hard. Because I just think there was too many callouts last time that drew their attention away from just the basic laning phase itself. They were all trying to roam around the map, and I know that's what Mr. Schmid was doing with with Alistar last game, but he's Alistar. He doesn't need to be in lane. Like, neither does Morgana technically. So I would have expected maybe Mustard to go ahead and follow up and do some roaming, but she didn't do it from there. So I don't know. It just, if they can be selfish enough, XRising has the potential to take this game with this comp, but the way Turniips was playing last game, I don't think that momentum's going to stop anytime soon. So my gut instinct, Turniips Tots.
All right, well, that's yeah. We're just waiting to get into the in-game draft here, but honestly, I think I'm gonna give XRising another chance here. They have a little bit more streamlined composition this time. Sure, they might have really flipped it and didn't really work out in their favor last game, but I think they have a much more standardized comp. It's more late game assurance than Turniips Tots. Turniips Tots has a little bit of a weird composition here, right? We got kind of a split pusher with the Alawi. We have a roaming support and a jungler. The 2v2, like I said, is still strong. Silas and Nocturne definitely, but Trundle, the tankiness coming out from XRising this time around, again, is going to do wonders for them, as they really don't have a lot of, damage heavy, except for Nivea and Zai here, so they're really relying on the carries to do the work here in the later stages of the game. I definitely think that if they play it safe this time, they might be able to accomplish something here. So definitely looking forward to it.
If they play it safe. That's the key component right there. You got to play it safe. And, I definitely believe in them. They're a great team, XRising. Like, they're a phenomenal team. They have great communication. They've made it to the semifinals. They have to be at least decent in order to make it this far. But, to go up against Turniips Tots, you have to be built a little bit differently. Or if your first tactic doesn't go the way you want it to, you have to try it up. Don't be doing the same things over and over and over again, expecting a different result.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
Let's see if they're able to make the adjustments necessary and turn game 2 around.
Mental reset. It's all about the mental reset. Definitely.
That's all we ever talk about here at Mythic is mental reset. And some people just don't do it, and that's okay. But a lot of the times, though, these teams are like really able to just focus, get these games turned around. So we shall see. Let us know who you all think is going to win game number 2 here. Drop your channel points. I dropped about 1,500 here onto XRising. I know I won with Turniips Tots, but XRising has a potential, and I'm like a point fiend, so don't let my word go with my vote.
Yeah, definitely. They started out with the Freljord comp on XRising. It turned into, I guess, a Vastayan Freljord comp? I don't know. Anyways, I like the theme. It's close enough, So, definitely liking the draft coming out for them this side, so definitely going to go with them. So, yeah, I think this is going to be another banger game, though. We can see if Turniips Tots will carry the momentum forward from that first game in a dominating fashion into the second game. Juggernaut now on Alawi, and I think Alawi versus Syod is definitely an interesting matchup. It's basically skill-based. If Ohio hits a lot of the consistent Qs and Es that he did last series, oh man, it's going to be a world of pain for Juggernaut to go through the laning phase. But still, that is dependent on jungle and vision. A lot of misplays coming out from XRising last game, so let's see if they can actually reverse that around. And yeah, this is going to be a good one.
It will be. And it's just going to be two tanks just fighting each other. I expect Trundle to be a little bit more in lane once again than Nocturne does early on. But right as soon as that level 6 hits, that's when Nocturne turns on and he's going to be everywhere. And you're going to hate seeing the darkness. But let's go ahead. We're going to cut into a short little intermission. But before we do that, actually, I'll give you a quick shout out to our sponsor who is just up on our screen here, ProComps. And you ask yourself, we've never heard of these people. We have no idea who they are. And what are you talking about? And that's okay, because ProComps here, it's a tool for League of Legends teams, coaches, individual players that just, want to take their game to the next level. They have a lot of features. And what they do is it pretty much is a live dashboard, as you can see here, which suggests the best 5 champions you can pick at each step of the draft. And at the end, it informs you on how you should build and play your team. So it comes up with a strategy. And one of the coolest things that we personally think here is that you can create player champ pools and create a team, which enables you to personalize your drafting experience. And not only that, they have an offline mode if you want to try out different compositions as well. So definitely take a look. In the About section below, we have a link. Click on it. Get a free trial here to ProComps. And also to Rift School as well. Do you have a little bit more knowledge on that, Wookie? What is Rift School?
Yeah, Rift School is a coaching service. Any ELO, from Grandmaster up, or I think it's Master up, they have several coaches that span all of the roles, top jungle, mid, support, and ADC. You can check them out at riskschool.gg. They have a really nice UI for their site. I think it's very intuitive and it's very straightforward. You sign up, you get coaching for an amount. So definitely check them out. The link should be in the Nightbot or below. So but that said, we're going to go to a short break, and let's see what kind of changes both teams bring to the table for the second game. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
All right, welcome back, all of you wonderful, wonderful people. It is your boy Rylionn and Wookie Monster here, bringing you all the action. Second game for our SBS semifinals between XRising Esports Reborn and Turniips Tots. And so far, Turniips Tots leads the series 1-0 in this best of 5, and we are actually going to see some pretty spicy plays. Cappy, though, is going to go ahead and catch everybody out. Didn't drop a ward on his red. Kind of shocked at that, but it doesn't matter. They're going to go ahead and get some deep vision there and back off. But on the other side of the map, we have some invade action. Cappy, once again,
Cappy.
the live ward himself getting pulled in by Mr. Shmee early on, forcing the flash. Oh, and the base, but that's rough at minute 15.
Hey,
not
I'm glad,
best, but not the worst.
You know, I'm glad he burned the flash and didn't let the egg go down, because that would have been a guaranteed kill, I feel, if he didn't flash there. Even with the egg.
Absolutely. Even with the egg. And they have absolutely no idea that XRising is going to be safe. Here goes the knockup coming in from Mustard Cat. Really low. Down goes Pike. Oh no, Mr. Shmee is able to make it out though. The Ignite. They want to keep fighting this too. Anivia is going to be around the corner though. Mr. Shmee is already at half health. No Turret is going to go ahead and make his way into the action. Great job going in on Touchy Tets. Forced to flash into the Dragon Pit. Meanwhile, Cappy once again getting taken down super low. That
he has no flash. Going off. This could be his death. The Q's gonna come. Yep.
No flash.
Nope.
Oh, yep. The Q goes in. Man. There goes the egg form. And the first blood, what you said you didn't want to happen, happened. It went on over to Turniips. Oh, that's rough. That is so rough to see.
That is very rough to see. You know, I don't see this every day. Like, I feel like just something's off. Something's off. Something's wrong. Not sure what's going on, but either way, Ohio, like I said, is gonna hopefully try to, you know, kind of combat this Alawi issue. Doesn't do a whole lot early on, but you can't just let those tentacles stay awake for too long. Definitely want to try to take those out as quickly as possible, and try to stay safe while doing so, because I know that it's very hard to kind of do two things at once, especially for a tanky person such as Scion. It's much easier as a ranged champion to take out those tentacles, but Scion definitely has a little bit of wave clear once he hits, you know, 2 or 3 levels of the Q. Can definitely do a lot of work in clearing waves and making sure that it doesn't get as damaged as you otherwise think he would while taking out those tentacles.
And what was that little visual there on Juggernaut, or on Ohio, I'm sorry, when he got pulled in? Did you see that? It looked like a... Yeah, what is that little bar? So that's an automatic execution if a tentacle hits it, it looks like. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that is. I don't remember there being an execution with a tentacle, but...
That was never there before. Like...
I have not
and
seen
it can't be going based off Pike's ulti, because he's not level 6 yet, but...
It's definitely not.
Tetchy's also making his way into the top lane here, trying to get some kind of action, but... See, yeah, right there. That's so I don't know what that is.
I'm not exactly sure. I haven't faced an Alawi in a long time, but oh my gosh, the damage.
Ohio.
Yeah,
Ohio is extremely low. Now, he does have the Scion passive to his disposal, so that's the only thing going for him, and Tetchy is right around the corner. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, though, another nice hook is going to land by Mr. Shmee, and yeah, they are just bombarding them. But Niall is doing a really good job keeping the pressure, keeping the wave pushed in. I don't really know how good at farming. So, I mean, we see GG No Rematch did a great job last game, but he was left alone for a majority of the time. So let's see if it's a little bit different if they stay in lane, if they constantly apply pressure, if he's going to be constantly able to get that CC up. So hold on.
Yeah. Oof, tentacle is spawned. Oh, he's got to dodge it. He can't get up too close, though. Oh.
Nope, the W got him in the end there. A nice flash to use from Juggernaut, and he does make it out, and he didn't want to engage him. That's crazy.
Yeah. He tried, but he just didn't land this. You know, it's all about those skill shots on Scion there. Uh-oh.
Okay, good engage by Mustard Cat here onto the bot lane, but the stun, the return stun, and that's going to be a flash forward from GG, but it doesn't matter. The Ignite on the last tick takes him out. Mr. Shmee picks up the kill, and Turniips...
Wait, he gets out? He's flashed?
His own tower. Everybody with a sliver of health is doing these fights, and Juggernaut, I don't even know why he's in lane. Ohio teleports back and then gets the kill. I don't know what Juggernaut was doing. I don't know if he felt bad or what, but
This
That was
is
kind of crazy.
insane. I'm not even sure what's going on at this point.
I'm the shoutcaster and I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happening. I guess to break it down a little bit. Well, Turniips somehow got out of that turret dive. I don't know how. He must have flashed and it broke tower aggro over the wall, but it sucks because Techi was right there. Techi could have easily just, you know, stop taking the wolves, go over and make sure that at least the kill was picked up either from himself or from Cappy there, but he just didn't. He stayed farming, and that's what cost him the very, very good getaway coming out from Turniips.
Man, this is kind of rough, and Ohio's, you know, trying to do what he can aggro-wise, but right now with the Sheen, I mean, I know you said she doesn't do a whole lot early, and she just hit level 6, so it's kind of big. Cappy getting hard engaged here by No Turret into the mid lane, and yeah, that's a lot of damage with nothing in return given back. And even with the the electrocute, like once level 6 happens, it'll be obviously a lot easier for him to proc that. But getting 3 abilities off right now is a huge challenge for Cappy. And Mustard Cat with a good roam, but right in the corner, right behind him though, Mr. Shmee is lurking in the river.
They had the same idea.
Yes, they did.
Oh, here comes
Not
Ohio.
one of them have any vision there. Yeah, Ohio has. He's just there to base back into the lane. That's a nice tentacle, nice E being thrown out here. But hold on 1 second. That's a lot of damage by Ohio. Juggernaut trying to do what he can, and the tentacle is definitely doing work. I don't know why he ran all the way around to go ahead and finally secure that tentacle, but Juggernaut is just landing a lot of stuff here. Like, nice knockups though coming in from Ohio. I will admit that. He's been landing a good amount of those. But Shmee, godlike with these hooks. Absolutely unbelievable. The egg form is going to be popped with a flash used by No Trite. Does make it out of there, so that is one thing that Cappy does have. Turniips waltzing into the top lane there, taking a long route. Techi trying to follow up against that Krug charm that we all know happens to the junglers.
Yeah, I feel like Ohio is going to be in a dangerous position here, especially since the lane is being pushed in. They're going to try to attempt to dive, but what do they know? Oh, I guess they know now that Techi's there. Nope. Interrupted. Wow.
Good move by Techi.
Good move.
Okay, Alau's going to go ahead and pop the ultimate. No one likes Ohio. Unfortunately, steps in too many tentacles, trying to run down Juggernaut, but it's just not able to be enough, and down he goes. So right now, Juggernaut's looking pretty good with the Alawi. 58 farm, 2-1-0, 2-0 also on Turniips, so they're looking just as healthy as ever as they were in game number 1 there, Wookie.
Yeah, and I think it's really got to do with the jungle, how the junglers are working this game. Turniips has been, even though like we expect him to not do much until level 6, he's been doing the 2v2 again, once again with No Turret on, you know, the top side of the jungle there, and just stole his red just like that. So it's interesting because normally Trundle has the upper hand when it comes to the early fights here, but since that first kill given over to Turniips, it's really hard for him to actually do anything now, especially since his bot lane has pretty much been bot lane the entire time. They haven't gone anywhere.
Yeah. I will say that, I mean, that's a good change. Has good... Oh, hold on 1 second. The Encore, though, is going to land on all 3 members. Mustard Cat with the Ignite, forced to disengage heavily. And down comes Cappy to try to make it once again a 3v2. Techi, though, is not giving up on the engage. Already utilized the pillar. Good poke coming in. Nyla does have ultimate available. Decides to hold on to it at the moment here. Shmee's still not level 6. That's going to change it within the next couple of moments. There goes the Paranoia coming in from Turniips onto the backline here. There goes the Feather Storm, but it's not going to be enough. Big shutdown, though, picked up by Techi. Down goes the Mustard Cat, so a 1-for-1 trade overall at the moment. A good flash forward, but Mr. Shmee's going to dash out of there. Has the pull at his disposal, and here comes No Turret, making it a 3v2. A nice double Q is going to land by GG to lock him in place, and No Turret, along with GG, secures that 3-for-0, I believe. Meanwhile, on the top side, Juggernaut with a solo kill on the Ohio with ease underneath his own tower.
Yeah, this is turning out to be a very rough game for XRising once again. They're just not keeping up in tempo. They're not expecting the counter roams to come, it seems. They have no burst damage, so they really have to play these fights slow, but they're not playing it as a team and kind of coordinating their skills and their abilities We saw the 3-man Seraphine charm come out. That did wonders for their side, TT. They just absolutely won the team fight right after that.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, that Seraphine is such a game changer. It's surprising to just constantly be giving that first pick on over to Turniips Tots now for the second game in a row.
Yeah.
Because we've seen how big those encores just changed the pace of everything. And Juggernaut here, hold on, level 10, along with Turniips to level 6, fighting over the Rift Herald. Tet's getting the upper hand here onto Turniips, but it doesn't matter. No Turt with a great roam, and down goes 2 members of XRising, but not before Turniips gets taken down by the passive of Ohio. So great job, at least securing 1 kill there. But the Rift Herald does end up falling on over to the side of Turniips Tots. Not much Cappy can do in regards to the roam there.
Yeah, I think they should have just let that go, but oh, wait a minute.
Oh, a great encore is going to land on both bot laners, but doesn't matter. Not really a whole lot of follow-up. Mr. Shmee now getting super low, already dashed out. Nice pull into the tower here, but only 1 tower shot. Mustard Cat, a little bit tanky. Has the shields at her disposal as well. And they are just trading back and forth. Mr. Shmee has his ulti. Nyla with just a couple more seconds left on the Feather Storm. Great pull's going to land onto Mustard Cat. Oh! Good dash.
Wow.
Just in time, too, before death from below falls on him. Or on her, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they're definitely doing a really good job on the bottom lane for the side of XRising, but I feel like they're just not quite getting through. They're not getting the kills from these extended trades, and unfortunately, Mr. Shmee is getting away every single time. So
Yeah.
they really want to pull back in this game. They have to start, trying to coordinate the 3-man dives. They can definitely do it with Trundle.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, once Trundle and everyone's a little bit more set up, once all the mythics are completed, that's really where I believe XRising is going to shine. And Nyla, along with Mustard, really haven't been a part of these fights that have been all around the map. Like you said, they've been in the bot lane the whole time, and for good reason. They are keeping up, if not a little bit ahead in farm. I know it's 2-0-2 on the Pike. I know it's 1-0-4 on the Seraphine, but still, being able to keep up at least in farm, keep up with the items early on. I mean, it was just such a huge CS disparity. And hold on 1 second, we might have. Yeah, they are gonna back out of their Paranoia is available for Turniips. Has the vision, is gonna engage there. But hold on 1 second, is hopping into a 2v1 at the moment. Featherstorm is gonna land, but a nice pull's gonna go through from Nyla with the 3-man route as well. Doesn't matter. The follow-up Featherstorm's gonna land by no turret, and 2 members down once again, both bot laners. They are just so strong. 13-3, ahead by almost, it's about 8k gold right now. Sion with the ultimate there. Turniips with a great spell shield to stop it, so it doesn't matter. Wow. Gonna go ahead and pull him out of his knockup as well. I mean, everything that they're trying to throw, they have a counter to. Turniips Tots is just playing out of their minds here. They want this so bad. Great encore, but too close to tower to really capitalize on it. But other than that, they are playing flawlessly on the side of Turniips Tots for these first 2 games.
Yeah, it is definitely getting to a 10k gold lead right now. Oh, Ohio might be getting poked out a little bit too much. I don't think he should stay here very long. Okay.
Oh, good job from Mr. Shmee to go ahead and pull in Mustard Cat to stop the engage there, but I don't think it's going to matter. Shmee, though, it doesn't matter. Everything you throw at him, he has another trick up his sleeve, dashes to safety, gets the health regen. Just like that, never even happened. Wow.
Yeah, definitely good plays from Mr. Shmee. I feel like every time they try to get Mr. Shmee, he just gets away. Oh, here we go again, though.
Great pincer here move from the side of Turniips Tots, but the flash, or no, I'm sorry, not the flash, but just the dashes to get away there. Great job from Nyla. Didn't have any dashes, didn't have any flash.
Look at where XRising is on the map. They need to do something. They're just letting bot lane fall, and that's their strongest lane right now. And if this falls, this is it.
Yeah, that is completely it. The early ulti coming in here from Turniips, along with no turret. Doesn't matter. Down goes the bot lane. Tet's also going to be falling here in the 2v1 in the top side. All Cappy can hope to do right now is do exactly what he's doing now and push out the mid lane. But, wow, the macro, the micro, everything currently looking real good for Turniips Tots.
Yeah, definitely looking really strong, especially on the Silas, which I thought wasn't going to do as great this game, but currently deathless, so... Oh, Juggernaut?
3 members on the
Oh
side
my gosh.
of Turniips Tots are deathless right now. I
Yep.
mean, they're just playing out of their minds currently. You know, spreading the kills, spreading the assists as well. And here comes the engage from No Turt, along with Juggernaut simultaneously in the top lane. Down goes the egg form. Turniips just to try to get some camaraderie, get a little bit of assist action there. Waited for him to actually come up. That's disrespectful. But secures the kill there. I mean, like, 17-3. Now they're ahead by 11k gold. We're 15 minutes in.
Yeah. And this is the kind of prowess we've seen from Turniips Tots all season long. They've been such a dominating team in the series. It's very hard to contest them, but I do think there is a way for XRising to come back. That is not the way right there. Backing on a ward.
Mr. always being in everyone's face. Comes in with the Gale Force and the ulti. Down goes Nyla. And I mean, like, yeah. That's a line. 2v1 here in the mid lane. No Turt. Yeah, he's trying to do anything, but the sustain is too good. And then here comes the paranoia, followed up by the dash, along with death from below once again. But hold on 1 second. Overstepped his boundaries. Big shutdown given on over to Cappy. That's where they need to final these kills. That's the only, I think, hope that they have at the moment, along with Nyla. These two need to be the most fed at the moment. So if they can go ahead and get these shutdowns to these 2 key members, they have the chance of coming back, definitely.
Yeah, definitely. They have to do it. Good pincer move, but the stopwatch. Oh.
Yeah, the encore followed up by that. Techi also really low, so can't follow up. Nice go, all in, I'm sorry, from No Turt. No Turt getting super low, and with the passive, is it going to be enough to go ahead and knock him out? It will be. So at least 1 kill given on over. Turniips almost taken out, but I don't even know at the moment, man. This is
It's a 10k
wild.
gold lead. It is definitely not going in the way of XRising once again. And I feel like it's definitely got to do something with maybe some coordination efforts coming out from XRising. They haven't, they're not performing as well as they have in even the quarterfinals. Like, we saw a lot of coordinated plays, and now it's just I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, are either a little bit shooken up from game number 1, or I'm not sure, but the mental reset definitely is not here at the moment. But once again, they're not completely out of it just yet, though. If they're able to just lock it in, if they're able to get some kind of farm, secure these shutdowns, not be caught out in the middle of their jungle. I know, which is hard to say because it's like, well, this is my jungle. I should be able to do something in it, but like the ever-looming just fear of Mr. Shmee's like mobility is just unreal. Yeah. And he does so much damage on his own. Like, he can pretty much almost 1v1 anybody except for Ohio, I believe.
Yeah, Ohio's pretty tanky though. Can take a lot of damage here, but only has a Sunfire Aegis. So I'm not sure if this is gonna do anything. Oh
no, it is not. I mean, he's stepped in the middle of 4 members. There goes the dash over the tower. Turniips gets the kill with the blasting plant. Is able to make it to safety, and hold on 1 second. No Turt finding himself in a 2v1. Doesn't matter. Big damage once again comes in, and that's going to be 2 members down now. The Rift Herald is still up. Doesn't matter, though. They're not even going to try to look for it. I believe, well, yeah, actually, Turniips wants to at least secure that. Have some better pushing power here, better sieging come the 20-minute mark, while Baron will be up. The next dragon, and it will be the Soul Dragon, is going to be Ocean, or at least it's going to put them on Soul Point for the side of Turniips Tots. But what you're on the side of XRising, Wookie. You're in their ear. You're their coach.
Woo!
I've seen you coach multiple of these players.
Oh no.
How do you tell them to just like
well, they have to slow down the game. I think that's the thing that players struggle with the most when it comes to this type of competitive play. They don't know how to slow down the game. They have to really be taking fights knowing like this.
Pretty big, but not into the Alawi. That is not what you want. Juggernaut is the strongest right here, and he's proven to be very good. And oh my god, the sustain. Down goes Techi. Down goes Mustard. A double kill given on over. Meanwhile, a great engage from Turniips on to Cappy there. And that's going to be 3 members down for the side of XRising. I mean, that's the last member you need to be 3v1ing. If anything, 3v1 No Turt. Like, he does not have that 4v1, 3v1 capability. I know he's good, but with enough CC that they have constantly, that's the member you want to be focusing on. But
yeah,
Juggernaut, man.
I mean, it was definitely like it would have worked out, but they just don't have any damage yet. Juggernaut is 2 items in, while all of the people that just fought him only have 1 item, like fully completed. And so you really have to, like I was saying before, you have to take these fights slowly. You can't like just go all in and expect you to win against Juggernaut, who has that AoE ultimate. You know it's gonna heal him. You know it's gonna do massive amounts of damage. You can't just stand in it. And you have to kind of back off a little bit, you know, take the trade, and then resume to kind of fighting him after it's worn off, or after you space yourself properly against it, right? So making sure you're slowing down the game is definitely crucial to winning this game, but they're just not doing it. They keep, like last game, they're just taking every fight and not being precautious like this.
Oh, not at all. Another great engage here coming in from Mr. Shmee, along with the follow-up encore. The Featherstorm is going to go ahead and go out, but the Rake will not be pulled out in time. And once again, this bot lane getting picked off here by about 3 members of Turniips Tots. So
yeah, this is
it sucks that they can't even go into their own jungle without fear. Oh, the knockup doesn't land here. No Turret is doing a good job succeeding in this 2v1 here. Now the other members of his squad have shown up. The blasting plant is used, but not going to get him to safety in time. Ooh, the ultimate through the portal there. Great move. I don't
but he
know if I can
stays.
step it up. You just got out of the damage. Why would you want to go back into the danger, my friend? Good charm. It's going to go ahead and lock him down underneath tower. The Zonia's to go ahead and stop the tower aggro, and he does make it to safety. Juggernaut with the ultimate in the tentacles slaps down Mustard Cat, and I mean, every single moment that you think that they're going to catch a small break, every member of the side of Turniips Tots says no.
Yeah, this is not looking good. 32-5. They're not able to stop the rampage from the first game, and I feel like there's not much else we can do about it. I mean, every single member on the side of TT has a bounty on their head, so if they can't get one, I don't know if they'll be able to get anybody at this point.
Yeah, I mean, GG also still completely unkilled here in game number 2. Another great encore. Oh my god, just the communication aspect of Turniips Tots right now is just on a completely different level.
Yep.
I mean, there is no disarray, there is no misstep. A nice engage from No Turret, but he knows he has the flash, so he's like, don't follow me to the other side. I can make it out of here, and he does with ease. And a great pull once again by Mr. Shmee. Backline, death from below to go ahead and secure that kill. Techi and Ohio fighting underneath tower, but it doesn't matter. The aggro, they don't care, shrugging it off like it never even happened. Double kill given on over to Mr. Shmee. That death from below doesn't secure the third one. That goes on over to Turniips Tots. And all 5 members now fall here. And, I mean, Cappy does come up in just the nick of time to see his second Nexus Tower fall, only to be slain once again and giving the official Mythic ace on over before the tower falls once and for all, giving the 2-0 on over to Turniips Tots.
Yep.
That's
Definitely a well-deserved win, though. Had a lot of good fights, had a lot of consistency in their fights, and, you know, took it away once again.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely a rough time for, you know, XRising, but we still have a little bit more action in it. We've seen the unthinkable happen before. True. you know, it is definitely not over just yet. But with that being said, we're gonna go ahead and cut it to a small little intermission while we get ready for game 3. Currently, Turniips Tots leads the series 2-0 over XRising Esports. Do not go anywhere. Your boy Wookie Monster and Rylionn will be right back.
All right.
All right, welcome back, all of you wonderful, wonderful people. It is your boy Rylionn and Wookie Monster here, bringing you all the action in the Mythic Esports SBS semifinals. We have XRising Esports Reborn versus Turniips Tots, and right now Turniips Tots is up in the series 2-0, commanding fashion in both game 1 and 2. But I believe in XRising, and I do think that they can make a comeback here in game number 3. But we're gonna have to see what they do and what their draft is going to look like. But Wookie, what are your thoughts so far leading into game number 3 here? Like, how do you feel just about game 1 and 2?
Yeah, I honestly think Turniips Tots are playing out of their minds. They really want, you can tell they really want this final spot. They're gunning for it. They want to end this series as quickly as possible so they can take a break, rest up, prepare for the next game. But yeah, I definitely think XRising needs some work to do, right? I mean, they're down 2 in the series. They have not been able to adjust according to their draft. They haven't been playing, quite as much, in performance-wise as they might have thought they would have. So there's definitely gonna have to be some improvements if they want the reverse sweep. Like, this definitely is the time to do it now. It's now or never, right? You gotta put yourself in the mental of like, if we're gonna play this comp, we gotta slow down the games. We have to make sure we're doing everything that we can possibly do to make sure we're warding and not getting ganked so much and not overstepping without wards or expecting champions to hop over walls, hop away like Mr. Shmee has been doing. There's all these certain factors that you have to kind of take into account when you're into this level of competitive play. And we saw this. Yeah. We saw this versus City Awards, one of the best teams in this league, I feel, and they absolutely, in a dominating fashion, took them out. It was a 2-1 victory. So it's I don't know. I feel like they really got to try. I think that's they got to try. The mental reset has to come through.
It absolutely has to come through here for XRising. I mean, this is on the verge of elimination and right before finals here. And then we have, of course, our other game, which is going to be happening this Saturday. And can you remind us, who's going to be playing on Saturday, Wookie?
It is We Hate Renekton versus Goat. Both of those teams have definitely, somehow, like, I did not expect We Hate Renekton to, I'll admit, I did not expect We Hate Renekton, and I was gonna say this in the rewind, but we didn't have one. But I didn't expect them to get all the way to semis, but here we are, and I'm excited that they're there. They've definitely earned their way through that one, and looking forward to the game on Saturday.
Absolutely, and we did have a rewind. I was there.
Well, I wasn't there. To say this, yes, I wasn't there to say it, but yeah.
Yeah, very true. But still, I mean, I definitely think XRising, they just have to buckle down, get some really key components away from the side of Turniips Tots, or just ban them outright completely. I know they're down 1 ban, which is kind of a bummer, and that's a flat tire on a crossroad trip, or a cross country trip. Like, it's not a good time, but still, we've seen really key components getting picked here from Turniips Tots in game 1 and in game 2. And I just hope for XRising that they're able to either pick or ban those ones out, starting off on the blue side here. So we'll definitely have to see. It's going to be all up to them. Yep, but the draft is underway here, and yeah, I mean, I want to see at least a game 4. That would be nice.
That would be.
But the way Turniips Tots is playing, like, they are trying to come early, leave early. Like, they don't want to stick around for the after party. So let's just see what happens as a result of this 3rd game here. So, XRising hasn't really had that really much of a, front line for the bot lane to even play with. But on top of all that, they haven't really had a jungler that has the same mobility. We saw Lee Sin in game number 1, and then the Nocturne stolen in game number 2. But with the first blood given to him in the first, 10 seconds of the game or minute, that kind of already set him up for success from that point forward. So I don't know, the jungle is kind of like one of the major key components here.
And that is a vehicle ban. I guess something happened with their side of the draft. Yeah, they can't pick, so we're gonna have to redo the draft. We're keeping the same bans, but yeah, I don't think they can pick. I think that's the problem they're having right now.
Okay, and
yep. So bear with us for a little bit. We're gonna restart the draft. Hopefully, it actually allows them to pick. I know draft law has been a little bit buggy lately. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell me about what are your thoughts about which team that goes against whoever wins this out of We Hate Renekton and Ago? Like, what are your thoughts about that series? Like, who do you think is going to take that series? Because we haven't really talked about what this means, right? This is semifinals going into finals. So I know the match is Saturday, but we could try to kind of guesstimate what could the possibility be? What do you want to see?
I mean, out of We Hate Renekton and Ago, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of rooting for Ago on that one. They've kind of been one of those sleeper teams, not in first, not in second. They've just kind of been chilling in third and fourth. They made it into playoffs with ease. They obviously made it out of quarterfinals here. We Hate Renekton, we haven't seen a whole lot of gameplay from either one of them, so I can't really pinpoint at the current moment in time just who exactly has the advantage. Let me pull up their drafts just real quick, or not their drafts, but
the results. Yeah, they've definitely been consistent. I wouldn't say even as consistent as some of the other ones in that bracket, but definitely I feel like We Hate Renekton and Ago is gonna be a good match. I don't think it's gonna be necessarily a stomp on either side. I definitely think it's gonna be quite even, so I'm looking forward to that match. But we're back in draft now. Thankfully, they can actually pick, and there he goes. There's what you wanted. They picked away the Seraphine.
Okay.
You like to see it. It's
They
definitely
picked
good.
the Seraphine, and they banned up the Silas.
And they banned
did
Silas.
both.
They did both. They took your advice. Always listen to Rylionn, I think. Rylionn,
Always
very
that,
good.
always. If you want to be a silver 1, gold 4 player, I'm your guy.
He's the guy. So hey, I mean, I agree with you. I think that is good adaptation. Holy moly, I couldn't say that word for the life of me. Adaptation for the draft, because now they have to kind of pick a different comp. They can't go with the same thing. They went with Seraphine and Silas both games, and honestly, you could give up the top lane ban for this. I don't think since Juggernaut, he's been proficient. He was basically okay on the Garen. He did really well on the Alawi. I don't think that's where your focus should be on. So I definitely think these draft adaptations are definitely going to make it better for the side of XRising. And we see the Graves, the Braum, so it's definitely changing it up.
Yes, and they banned out Braum. I just want to point that out. Turniips has banned Braum 2 games in a row. They took it away in game number 1, and they took it away in game number 2 there as the final ban. So bringing it up front here, it's going to be a little bit of a different play style than we've seen coming in from Turniips Tots. They want to be more in their face, more apparent. We've seen more of a lackadaisical, Seraphine followed up by whomever Mr. Shmee wants at that moment in time, because he's going to roam anyways. So Seraphine just being able to have that sustain and everything. Nyla, can she be picked?
I believe so. It has been 2 weeks since Nyla's release. I believe she was in the free rotation, so that is an indicator that she is available to play.
Okay.
But they are gonna just go with Miss Fortune anyways.
The juke.
The juke.
Miss Fortune.
So Miss Fortune Seraphine.
Miss Fortune.
That is a good combo. It's definitely something that you lock people down with the Seraphine charm, and then you follow it up with the bullet time, and that will definitely net you some kills there. So, but it's interesting that they pick it into a Braum, because Braum can block all of those shots. But where Braum doesn't shine is getting poked down in lane. Because that shield is quite a long cooldown. But Taliyah going to be picked up. I'm going to assume this is for Triton or Notert. I feel like it might be a flex.
Who's it, Taliyah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Notert on the Taliyah. I mean, he's done really well on these really hardcore mid lane carries. We've seen him Silas both times, so getting that banned out, Taliyah, definitely a good follow-up pick to that.
Okay.
And once again, looking at the Lissandra coming in from Cappy, we've seen Lissandra and Cappy being played, once before. And, having that amount of CC to stop the engage, if it was Silas, but it's not, would be really good. So I don't really know how this is going to fare into Taliyah. She's going to stand back. She's going to throw out all of her abilities and everything. So I expect that he's going to be using his dash more to disengage than so to engage. Um, Only because the timing on Talia being able to go ahead and knock them back, get her electrocute procced off, or do you expect it to be a Dark Harvest? I mean, it could go either way on that.
Could go either
you wanna
one.
go for trade.
Yeah, it could go
Oh.
for either one. Honestly, Talia has kind of the upper hand when it comes to trades against Lissandra because Lissandra is very short range. And with the changes that recently, kind of semi-recently came through for Talia, I think she's got a better trading pattern for sure. I think her trading pattern, if you guarantee the knock-up or if you just even poke with the Q, it's definitely going to take chunks out of Lissandra before she could even do anything. Lissandra is all about hard engage, so Lissandra definitely wants to just wait till level 6, utilize her ultimate, utilize her stopwatch to kind of survive as long as she can while her team comes and pretty much rescues her. So kind of a nuisance character, I guess you could say. Lissandra is definitely one of those wild picks that you're like, well, she doesn't really do anything, but then you get into a game and like, oh, she does a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, being a mid main, yourself, I'm sure you either do you play a lot of Lissandra or do you see a lot of Lissandra?
I used to play a lot of Lissandra, but then I felt like she wasn't as I like long range mages. I don't like short range mages as much because of that playstyle. You have to be kind of an engager and to make sure you're hitting your skills. Lock down somebody. That is entirely the champion's identity is to lock a singular person down. And nuke them, right? And they definitely have a lot of nukeable characters on the side of TT. So like the Graves is pretty much gonna be locked down by the AP burst of Lissandra, Talia as well, Ashe as well. But it looks like they kind of went kind of a Freljord. So
yeah, a majority Freljord picks here, but those are some really strong characters. The Braum Ashe combo, I love that. My number one favorite ADC, along with one of my favorite supports of all time. That is such a disgustingly strong combo. I definitely expect to see an invade coming in from Turniips Tots. But looking at the Malphite, looking at the J4, the Seraphine, I really like the 5v5 that they have set up. They just have to play as a team. The Cataclysm into the Malphite Unstoppable Force, huge. And the perfect person to set that up, Seraphine.
Yeah.
So
and
if they're
Jarvan.
able to go ahead. Oh, and yeah, you're absolutely correct. And the whole time as well, just a good measure. It's going to be positioning. It's going to be about focus. As long as it's not hop on the back line, everything should be okay. It's just going to be really important to make sure that Talia does not get ahead early. And I definitely think that she is actually going to go with the Dark Harvest. It's just good for longevity, provides so much more damage. Electrocutes for that early game, let's go ahead and duel it out type situation. But Lissandra being as safe as she is, she has the tombstone on herself. She has the ability to just dash out of anything, over walls, over whatever. It is going to pose a little bit of an issue to get that electrocute off, in my opinion. So I expect to see a Dark Harvest from Talia.
Yeah.
But sick engage, though, from Turniips Tots. I do like that a whole lot from them.
I definitely agree, and I'm going to drop a lot of points onto Turniips Tots this time. I think they definitely have a different composition than what I would have expected. Honestly, the amount of lockdown they have is insane. They have a lot of single target, kind of Talia with the the knockback into your team, and then Ashe with the ultimate, the frost arrow, and then you have Braum with another knockup. The list goes on. You have the Trundle pillar. Definitely, I think they have winning lanes here, and I think they have enough CC to kind of navigate their way through to the later stages of the game. So I think they have a well-rounded composition. As you can see on the pro comms graphic, they're just cruising. They know they don't win mid game, but they win in the early game and the late game. We already seen them take a game that said, "Oh, they were supposed to lose in the early game to XRising, and then they took it in the early game." So it's definitely. I feel like Turniips Tots is going to take this one.
Yeah, I would agree with that as well. I think this might just be a 3-0. I mean, Juggernaut also With the Trundle in the top lane against Malphite, Malphite is not going to be able to do much of anything early on. I believe he's going to go Conquer. I believe he's going to go Trinity Force. He's going to stick to that split pushing aspect. Meanwhile, I mean, Turniips, he's going Graves. Like, the man's going to be unstoppable. He's going to be inside the jungle at all times of XRising, and he's just going to be an absolute menace there. Not to mention the mobility coming in from Talia. She's just able to ulti anytime she wants, whether Turniips wants to engage in the jungle, or I'm sorry, in the bot lane or the top lane. Like, there's just so much going on. And then, of course, the Ashe ulti, you know, just for good measure, if you want to go ahead and try to get some clean across the map snipes there. So
Yeah.
it's going to be
And
it's going to be
not to
pretty
mention,
ridiculous.
like, XRising does have good wombo, and you can see even on the graphic, like, engage is their main source, but they have to get to the point, like, they have to survive the early game, and they have to make sure that their Jarvan is ganking, Jarvan is making an impact in the game to get Misfortune
Right.
ahead, to get Lissandra ahead, either one of those two. If you get them ahead, they're going to do a lot of damage going into the mid game, and that's going to, you know, kind of pummel them forward to win the game. But it's just about getting there, right? They really have to make sure that Jarvan is efficient. And so I feel like, yes, Techi has had his good moments, but it really is going to rely on him for the early game because he has to make sure everybody else gets the mid game. So definitely a lot of pressure. Definitely a lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure, but I believe he can live up to the hype.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen Techi play. He's made it this far. So J4 is also a really good, strong engage character. Has lots of burst damage. If they can time it correctly, the side of XRising can really come out on top come the late game. It's just really this early gameplay that they have to be the most careful about. They have to expect the invade coming in from Braum. I mean, that's what he's built for. I do it every single time that I play this game, I invade. And if we have a Braum, it's just over. He's able to get his stacks on everybody, and then it's just GG from there. So, or at least your sums. So, you know, they just have to play smart. They have to be expecting the invade, and they just don't give up anything early. Farm up as much as possible, and then pick smart fights around important
Yes.
objectives. Not around Gromp, not around Krugs. Like, it's okay to give up a blue or a red sometimes. If you can safely get the pincer on them, fine. But outside of that, they really need to stick to their lanes, in my opinion.
They definitely have to make sure they're using their champions' identities to their potential, right? And especially for this game, because this is a heavy engaged composition. They have to make sure if they're engaging, they have to be coordinated. They have to make sure their ultimates are all up and available to use when they do this. They have to roam together. They have to do everything together, and I think that's the core side of this gameplay. But we're going to take it to a short break. Once we get back, we're going to have Game 3. Can XRising mental reset, bring it back, make sure they're engaging, or will Turniips Tots just kind of, you know, pick apart XRising like they did the past two games and bring us to a close? Well, we'll find out real quick once we're back from this short break. Don't go anywhere.
All right, welcome back, all of you wonderful, wonderful people. It is your boy Rylionn and Wookie Monster here, and this is Game 3 of our SBS semifinals between XRising Esports Reborn and Turniips Tots. And currently, Turniips Tots leads the series 2-0. They are on match point right now, fighting hard to go ahead and secure the 3-0. Juggernaut, oh no, stepping up into a full 5-man Turnip. Oh no. Forced to flash. I think he's just going to give it up. Everyone is there to go ahead and back him up, though. Very nice move. There goes the W to go ahead and slow them down. The volley. Nice coming in, but no. The first blood, instead of being Juggernaut, goes over to Juggernaut. That's crazy. It looked real good for XRising for just a moment. They had everything.
They hesitated, and it cost them, because we saw that Techi kind of just went out of the bush, revealed himself, and then that gives Juggernaut time to react. They should have just waited for Juggernaut to just completely pass them, right? Patience. That they just didn't have enough patience for that one, and that's what led to that kill.
Yep. Very unfortunate, and they are going to go ahead and just commit to the full invade here. Oh no.
Oh no.
I think they're actually waiting. Oh, thank God. All right. The Q does not land. Some nice volley damage coming in from GG onto Mustard Cat, but does make it out of there with little to no scratches on them. Looks like Techi's actually going for the counter invade, trying to secure the red. There's no vision on it for the side of Turniips Tots, so he might be able to take this with ease.
Yeah, Juggernaut
red.
putting out a lot of damage. We kind of expected, and we didn't really go through this, but Trundle really wins this matchup, right? At least till level 6. Because there's not really much Malphite can do when you lower his AD, and AD is A scaling. Malphite's E scales with AD as well as armor, so, and he doesn't have a lot of both at the start of the game, so. And on top of that, he's got a kill.
Nyla, great job, Mr. Shmee, for flashing there to secure the stun from his passive. But wait, overstepped a little bit too far. The damage comes in from Nyla, and now GG No Rematch is on the run himself. Nice job. The flash is going to come forward from Mustard Cat. Oh, the final auto gets the cleanse, gets the flash as well. And down goes, and for the first time, XRising has the lead 2-1 over.
Yeah, here we go again.
Yeah, Techi with the great gank in the top side. Juggernaut, already they know he's going to have flash, and they secure the kill. No one likes Ohio. Gets his first kill as well. 1-0-0. XRising coming out really nice.
Oh my gosh. Wow, they changed. They actually, start to capitalize on the no flash, right? We saw no flash from Juggernaut at the beginning of the game. And, yeah, that's what you want to do on Jarvan. That's exactly the type of plays you want to make. Ohio better get out of there, though. Or pings for assistance there.
Yeah, let's see. Hold on. Techi's going to go ahead and get the knock-up onto Turniips. Turniips going to be able to easily dash over this wall, though. That's no issue. But Cappy is going to make his way on over. Doesn't have a whole lot of mana. Techi also doesn't have the EQ combo just yet. Drops the flag, but already popped the Q. Nice job for Ohio coming down to just make sure that his buddy doesn't give up any important kills there. So the communication is coming back here for the side of XRising. I like this. I like this XRising.
Now, it's the beginning of the game, though, so we can't be too hopeful, but it's looking good so far. I think that, like I said, like, the early game and the late game are where they start to, like, kind of fumble a little bit, right? They have to get strong early leads, and yes, Nyla Rework has a kill now. Now they can start to push for more of that. Because GG No Rematch and Mr. Shmee are going to scale to level 6. They do a lot of damage with that combo, and they have to make sure that they're punishing. And look at the change in topside already. Juggernaut now below half health, like really low on health. I don't know if he stayed or he just didn't go back, but the damage is coming through.
I think he didn't go back yet.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my god.
Oh wow, that's a lot of damage from Mustard Cat. The Ignite, though, is going to give her another kill. 2-0-1. Mr. Shmee trying to follow up, avenge his buddy, but will the damage be enough here? The heals, the roots are coming in. Mustard is built differently here in game number 3 with the sidestep for good measure. She said, nope, not today.
What is going on?
And down goes Shmee. They said 90k points. Wookie, we'll take all those for free. Thank you, my friend. Oh, Cappy looking to get the engage there, but great job. Not fully committing. Didn't know where everyone was at. And now we have XRising making their way to the first dragon. Ocean Drake wanting to secure that. A good hawk shot is going to be used to catch them out. Cappy waiting in the bushes, though. Oh, no. Tride's going to get caught out. The Q E combo there gets rooted. Nice return fire, though, coming in from Mustard Cat. Now the rework also getting caught out. XRising Cappy is going to be the one that's going to get the Braum stack, and they're just gonna bully them off. The dragon hops over the tower once again, and Turniips Tots secures the kill, gives up the hunt on the dragon at the moment here. Cappy's now on the menu. Nice flash over into the Krug pit, and hold on 1 second, no try, and GG's gonna easily secure that one, and what started off as a nice dragon engage turned into a dragon nightmare.
Yeah, it's not that bad for XRising because yes, they did lose Jarvan, yes, they did lose a dragon, but Dragon, they just weren't prepared for it, right? They thought they were, but then everybody was resetting on the side of Turniips Tots, and they just came with full health, and kind of the timing wasn't there for them. So as soon as you realize that, though, that you kind of have to back off, and it seemed like Techi wasn't on the same page with the rest of the team there. He kept on the dragon while the rest of the team was getting engaged on.
Ohio just allowed, like, 15 autos to go off right outside range of his tower.
Oh, he's so low.
Yeah, that's a flash bite. Automatic. Even though the Q did go off, takes a few tower hits, is not going to be enough to take him down all the way, though. Great job from Juggernaut to capitalize on that, but Ohio, not sure what happened there.
Yeah, had the momentum, doesn't have it anymore, so it's kind of a back and forth. Doesn't surprise me. I don't know if he's just mismanaging the resources or what, but remember he had the opposite effect over on the his tower. So yeah,
Turniips and Techi there, both meeting in the jungle, literally showed up, autoed each other, and then walked away.
Yep.
What gentlemen? That was unreal.
the red reset.
Oh, the red reset. That's very
tragic, but they have the team just to back up. Backing up there with that. Like to see it. So yeah, a lot of adaptations already coming out from XRising. They, like I said, they just need to keep pushing it forward and making sure they know what they want, right? They want the level 6 Wombo combo. A lot of them have almost reached level 6 on their side. Cappy and Ohio have reached it, so they can look to roam. And it looks like Ohio is trying to get a roam onto the mid lane here. Techitet's not quite level 6, but let's see if something can happen.
Time to go ahead and hop around. Great job from Ohio to go ahead and engage with the unstoppable force from the top side. That is exactly what they needed to take that fight. And Ohio, along with Techi, take a kill each. And wow, great job, great roam. He said, it doesn't matter if I'm down in farm, I am level 6. Yep. That's a whole nother threat all on its own, that Malphite brain. So great job from XRising on that roam. And oh my god, the bullet time. Not so much with the Encore because it's not available just yet, but Nyla almost securing that kill there on the GG, forcing them to back, and just like that, they're going to be getting some plates here. Following up, this is a completely different XRising than we've seen in the first 2 games.
Oh, wait.
Oh, great job from Turniips. Or for securing Turniips, I'm sorry. And they're going to go ahead and lock down that Rift Herald as well. Just thought he can hop in there like he has been. Meanwhile, Talia's going to go ahead and ult down to the back line, but Techi's going to force her to back early. Juggernaut secures the kill on the Cappy. That lethal tempo is definitely lethal at the moment. Woo.
Ooh,
but yeah.
I mean, good thing they got the Rift, because if that was just a kill, that would not be worth for the side of XRising. So I think that's fine that they give up Cappy for it. There's not really a lot of pushed lanes. I mean, yes, he will likely lose a mid wave here. I can't really tell if it is at the turret or not, but either way, he'll come back to lane. He'll just resume farming, and this is where you want your kill allocation. For the most part, Cappy hasn't really been getting a lot of gold, so might want to pop the Rift there for the next dragon. That might be a good play, or even bottom lane to get them out of lane. They're both 2-0-2, and I think this is a great turnaround for them.
Yeah, they're doing phenomenal, and, you know, Mustard Cat is also coming in clutch with the damage and the healing aspect. I mean, she's playing aggressive when need be, and then playing the great utility support and backing off as well. Just great communication all the way around. Ohio taking a little bit of a beating here on the top side, but that is nothing new. Going to go ahead and back off from there. Teleport is available for Ohio and Juggernaut here. The advanced recall, or advanced teleport, whatever it's called, not available until, I believe, 14 minutes.
Yep.
So it will not be up in time for this dragon fight, unfortunately. Mountain Drag is going to be the next one. So right before we find out what is Soul Point here, and I definitely hope to see some Infernal action.
Yeah, definitely hope to see it. I mean, the other team would benefit from that. They have a lot of damage-oriented characters. There's some Wombo. There's a little bit of everything. And it seems No Turk trying to get Cappy down here. Might not
Yeah,
work out.
Cappy's taking a lot of the brunt force of this Talia, but it doesn't matter. Ohio, great job with the unstoppable force. Again, not expecting it. The Ash Arrow coming in a little bit late. Flash for flash. Down goes one each here. Cappy and No Turk both falling. Turniips securing the kill there onto Cappy, so very nice. Ohio coming in still. Has the slow pop. There goes the blasting cone. It doesn't matter. Oh, the Cataclysm is going to be popped, but Nyla rework with the positioning. I don't know why she stops autoing. It's a little bit crazy. GG no rematch is forced between a rock and a hard place here. Falling to Techi and 3 kills for just 1, given on over to XRising as they prepare for the Dragon. I am loving everything that XRising is doing right now.
They really said, you know what? Wookie, you dropped so many points, we're just going to turn this around. They really said that. And they really are. I mean, I wasn't expecting TT to kind of fall short in the early game here. We saw on the Pro Comps graph a little while ago that they had the early game advantage. Oh. Okay. Almost. So close.
A short encore.
But yeah, this is a completely decide to XRising. I think it's great that they're turning this around for themselves. They got to keep it up though.
Agreed. They have to keep up the momentum, and we see a little bit of a difference here. Ohio now is able to take a beating. Well, hold on one second. Great engage from Mr. Shmee. The 4th proc is going to land. There goes the stun. Oh, the ultimate not available just yet. And the Asher once again whiffing just by a little bit here. Mr. Shmee with the clutch flash to get out of here. Techi Tech now super low. The Talia does take him down. A big shutdown now given on over to No Turd and Turniips.
Wow.
Tried to secure the kill, but a triple kill. Big moves from No Turd. That puts him on the map now. 3-2 overall with some great shutdown gold.
That was a huge overstep from XRising, and TT took advantage of that. I don't even think they knew that Mr. Shmee had a stopwatch. You in anyone's right mind, you wouldn't engage that hard on somebody who has a stopwatch, and it paid the price. Like they just overstepped their boundaries. They overstepped their limits. They didn't know that. I guess they didn't know that No Turk could do that much damage, but yeah, it's the consistency of the Qs, the Es, and the Ws that all made that work out for that 2v2.
Absolutely, and Ash ulti is not available just yet, but here comes Turniips anyways coming in from the Tri-Bush area. Mustard Cat also is going to show up there. Nice flash to avoid the Ash arrow. Techi, meanwhile, has plans of his own, comes in with a nice follow-up gank. Good sidestep. Talia secures with the wall. Oh, the bullet time is going to be enough. Down goes Turniips. Good job to go ahead and stop it, but it wasn't quick enough here. Mustard Cat makes it out with about a third of her health, along with Nyla. And up on the board, they continue to go. 12-8 overall in XRising's favor. But as someone pointed out, the 3-1 Trundle still in the top lane. Now has a Divine Sunderer. Is going to be a huge problem. And Juggernaut has won games single-handedly when his team has fallen or when his team has failed to, come up.
Yeah, I do think it's going to be rough later stages in the game for XRising with this massive Trundle. But at the same time, I think they have enough CC to kind of lock him down before he even has a chance to subjugate. I think there's enough CC coming out with Ohio, with Cappy, with Mustard Cat, like all 3 of those stack CC combos, you can't do anything. You can't even cleanse out of it, and we'll see it here.
Yeah, and Juggernaut actually might be overstepping his own boundaries right now, trying to secure some wolves, some sneaky counter jungle play here. Mr. Shmee now is the one that's getting caught out. Forces the ulti and the shield. Great job landing the rock there on Happy, followed up by No Turk to lock in that kill. Another Ash arrow just for funsies here.
Yeah, it was kind of close, Oh, he doesn't know.
Ohio still has the ult.
He didn't know.
Yeah,
he didn't have any vision on them. I feel like that would have been a beautiful play if he had known.
Yeah. And GG just sticking to the bot lane, 0-3. Note that they have to just continue to farm, try to get something going on here. I'm not sure what kind of build they're going for. It could be lethality out?
It looks like the Mana into probably a Kraken Slayer maybe. Well, they know.
I would hope.
Oh, they know. Oh, no.
Juggernaut stepping up, doesn't have much mana. Meanwhile, Turniips is waiting on the backside there. Mustard Cat is going to take a lot of damage here from No Turret. The heal's going to go off to save them, but it doesn't matter. 2 members are going to fall, and the Rift is going to be secured here from the side of Turniips. Tots. Techi is going to take down. Oh, very nice. Turniips there. There goes the Encore, but is forced to back off. The wall's going to back off, or go into the back line here. No Turret now finds themselves in a 2v1. An arrow that finally lands. Techi falls to Juggernaut, I believe, and No Turret actually gets taken down by Nyla before she gets taken out, and that's going to be a triple kill given on over to Juggernaut overall. GG, no rematch. Not a part of the fight, but still a part of the fight.
Yeah, and now that puts Turniips Tots above XRising in the gold. That is crazy. That changed in the span of like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So
Getting that shutdown gold onto, or from Misfortune was pretty big.
Juggernaut is literally being the Juggernaut here, and he's 7-1. Like you said, he's getting scarier and scarier, and I feel like that was a little bit of miscommunication or miscoordination coming out from XRising once again here, because they got pincered. There was no front to back because they were just attacked from all angles, and I like that approach from TT to kind of do that. That just relies on XRising have the correct vision. If they kind of go towards their teammates as a cohesive unit, that would not have happened.
Right. You are definitely not wrong. That front-to-back play is going to be the real style that XRising needs to play for, especially this Dragon right now. So let's see if they're able to fix their mistakes and secure it here. All ultimates are going to be up, except for Ohio, which is kind of a big component of that whole thing here. Dragon's getting taken quite low quite quickly.
Yeah,
they are trying to look out for the unstoppable force. Oh, nice job from No Turret with the double knockup on Techi and Mustard. Force a flash from Mustard Cat there. The ulti comes in, but it's not going to land. The Cataclysm for the return favor, and the bullet time to set it up. Mr. Shmee, though, doesn't care. He wants to get in the middle of it. Nice ulti to stop it, but not in time. No Turret is about to fall as well. Good flash, though, but it doesn't matter. Nyla with the final Q with the double tap to shut it down. 3 members are going to fall for the side of Turniips Tots. Dragon is still available, by the way. Ohio already utilized the unstoppable force. GG, no rematch. Has a taste of her own medicine with the slows coming through. Once he gets...
Juggernaut? He's going deep.
Juggernaut just doing whatever he wants. He's doing what Juggernaut does.
He does.
That's on his resume.
Indeed.
What do? I take towers. I win games.
Yep.
That's what I do.
That is the goal. That is the end goal here, and it's not the Dragon either. I mean, Juggernaut has been, even though he's not been a part of these fights, he's doing wonderful on the side lanes and everything that does not have to do with these fights, and that's what a split composition is. You have an engaged composition that wants to be in these fights, and that's where they're winning, but turrets are what wins games. And that is what he's doing.
Ohio doing a great job trying to lollygag, waiting for the pillar.
Oh!
The tempo! Oh, and the bite! Right before the teleport goes through, that's huge, and the Encore is going to land on 3 of the members to stop the engage around the Dragon is going to be started once again here. This Cloud Drake has never seen so much attention in its entire life. Absolutely loves it.
True, very true. This is definitely now not going in the way of XRising. We thought that they would carry the momentum, but this Trundle is just a thorn in the plans.
Look at him!
Cappy Cappy doesn't do anything.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
My God.
That is the true sign of a split pusher right there.
What? I mean, great job from Mustard with the clutch shields and heals. Cappy with a sliver, and I mean a sliver of health to just walk out of there. Wow. Great job from Mustard Cat. Shmee's going to go ahead and hop in just to go ahead and provide his buddy a little bit of support. Techi's now going to go ahead and engage with the Cataclysm. There goes the ulti follow-up. It's going to knock out 2 key members here. Shmee's getting taken down quite low, but it's not going to be enough. And Juggernaut with a double kill picks up Ohio and Techi. The lethal tempo is just too much. It's so much attack speed with the Divine Sunderer and with the Hull Breaker. The man cannot be stopped.
And remember, this is what I said with pulling the trigger. Like, you have to play these slow. Like, if everyone is not there, you do not win the fight. You have to have everybody stack their abilities. And they just went too early. They went on him way too early. Ashe ult hit Jarvan, and that just spelled the end of the fight.
Yeah. Great job, I must say. And hold on one second. Niall's getting taken quite low here. Oh my god. Forced the flash. That would have been a knockup to Doom from Noter. Great job coming in once again from Turniips Tots. But, I mean, GG is kind of like 50-50 on these Ash ults, but when they land, they are just super effective.
Oh, yeah.
Super effective.
I definitely agree. Oh, there it is again.
Okay, a close range arrow, though, to go ahead and lock it in. Nice pushback here from Noter, but Techi's able to hop to safety there. Turniips is also going to try to use the collateral damage to secure the kill. And hold on one second, Mustard Cat getting taken out. Unfortunately, even though the encore does come through, Nyla also getting the taste of the Braum stacks, and that's a double kill picked up by GG.
Woo.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Like,
Now
picking them
GG is on
apart.
the board.
They had
gosh.
all of the advantage in the world early game. And hold on one second. Good engage from Techi. Mr. Shmee does hop to safety. Is going to get pushed back once again from Nochar. Another Braum ulti is going to land. What is a cooldown on that thing? And that is going to be 2 more members that will be taken out. But not before a nice smooth double kill comes in from Cappy.
This
Good
is a
shutdown.
slugfest. Oh my gosh.
Just one after the other, and it's a slugfest with these turrets as well. Juggernaut has a personal vendetta against every turret in this game. Inhibitor's going to be the next one, and he doesn't care if he even dies at this point. I know he's not going to, because look how fast he is.
Yeah, Trundle is definitely the carry in this game. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. He's going to take down the turrets. He is 10-1. He does not give a crap about anybody else in the game, not even his own teammates. He really wants to stay away from them as much as possible and just do his job. And I think they're executing this composition fairly well. I mean, there has been a lot of 4v5s in the side of TT that have not gone right, and I feel like maybe they can make a little bit more adjusting to how they take the fights, and it might be better. But, oh, man.
Right here on the Juggernaut. This is where he's really going to shine. That's a lot of hull breaker stacks. The Ash Arrow's going to land onto the backline. It's going to stop Nyla in her tracks, but it doesn't matter. And 1,000 gold picked up by Ted. Great job. Really wish that went on to Nyla. That would have been really impactful. But with his life being, sacrificed, it looks like they are going to secure the Baron. And Noturd actually stepping up maybe a little bit too far, but no. Gets the knockback onto Techi there. And yeah, that's going to be a relatively slow Baron. Shmi's not really the tankiest member in the world right now. And they definitely know that they're on it. Yeah, they definitely backed off. Didn't want to get that smoke, that is for sure.
Yeah, this is looking like a fight here, but they have to go and cover the bottom lane inhibitor here. They have to have somebody, because those super midians are gonna push in and demolish the inhibitor turrets. They're looking like it's Nyla rework and Techi going back to secure that. And this dragon is coming up. It's a Cloud Drake. I'm not too fond of the Cloud Soul itself. For this team, it's actually kind of nice, but at the same time, Techi.
No. Haven't they learned their lessons about face checking going into objectives? I think not.
Man.
I mean,
Yeah, that is sad to see, but again, Cloud Drakes, it's not the worst. So yeah. And they just have to...
We need more blue trinkets for the side of XRising.
Yeah, I feel like they're starting to fall apart a little bit because they're not, going S5. They're just face checking for no reason. Like, there's no... You can't do that at this stage of the game. Remember, they have the mid game. They have a 6-2 and 7 misfortune. They have to play around either Nyla or Techi. Even Techi. Like, Techi can be the one to initiate these fights and wombo combo with Ohio. They have to do it as 5, and they're not doing it. They're all split up.
Yes, they are, and I love the 3-2 move that they just did. 2 members going onto the dragon, securing that, and then the other 3, including Trundle, going and securing the Baron there. I mean, that was big. Getting the dragon and the Baron just simultaneously, and then just allowing Juggernaut to just roam free into the top lane once again. It's going to be even more difficult now. He has a Bork. He's like almost fully stacked. I think the last thing he's missing is what, a Gargoyle Stone Plate?
Yep. I feel like that could be an option. There's definitely quite a few, but look at the wards. Oh my god, look at the warding on the side of TT, and I guess I'll have to hold that thought as Juggernaut facing the 4v2 maybe. But yeah, look at the warding coming out from TT. They have the entire topside jungle warded out, and I feel like this is what's leading them to this victory right here with this final push maybe, as you know, XRising just can't do it again. They can't succumb to this. Uh-oh.
The Ashe followed up by the Talia ulti. Both miss, unfortunately. Great ulti from Ohio to secure them underneath tower here. The bullet time, unfortunately, gets canceled out early by the Braum ulti, and the Encore hits absolutely nobody. They had them in the palm of their hand, but no, they all escape, unfortunately. Meanwhile, Juggernaut, along with Shmi, are going to go ahead and push out that top inhib along with that Baron. Down goes the tier 3 mid tower, followed up by the inhib shortly after. And like you said, Wookie, this might be the beginning of the end here. Mustard Cat super low, pops the Zonias, but that just allows them to encroach on her a little bit closer. Titchy trying to engage, but no, pops the stopwatch himself. And that is all she wrote. A double kill, give it on over to Notur, and 4 members down now for XRising. The towers will fall, and this will be a 3-0 in favor of Turniips Tots.
Yeah.
What? That was the closest game, I will say. That was the closest game.
Definitely close to becoming a comeback, right? That was definitely there was a chance there for XRising to actually take that one, but they just couldn't. They just couldn't push their leads. They just couldn't make sure that the Trundle stayed, you know, where, you know, he couldn't take those towers, and there's nobody to respond to him. So, congratulations on TT though. They took the win on that one.
They did. They definitely did.
Yeah.
I mean, they stuck together. Their core member Juggernaut just really was like, "Let me do my thing. I'm gonna just do whatever I want on the top side. You all, I don't care if you're 0-50. I'm going to be pushing this top lane." And he did a phenomenal job, just literally putting the rest of his team in his knapsack and just taking them up the mountain.
Yeah, and he was struggling the last two. Well, I would say the first game he was struggling a little bit, and then he kind of eased game by game up to Ohio. So it was definitely good to see him kind of make sure that he was the carry this game. I think that was a good performance from all of the members of Turniips Tots. Had a good performance here. So I'm about to drop the MVP vote. So go ahead and
Right about to ask.
vote for your favorite person this series. Who is yours? I didn't get to ask that.
Oh, all right. We've seen him before. We've seen him time and time again. I love talking to him. He's a great person. Juggernaut, in my opinion.
Juggernaut,
is gonna be
yeah.
getting the MVP. That man was a beast in the top side. Not to put anything against anybody else on the side of Turniips Tots. Turniips did phenomenal in the jungle. Graves in game 3. Lee Sin in game number 1, and then having the Trundle, I believe, in game number... Oh, no, I'm sorry. He was Nocturne in game number 2 there. I mean, just phenomenal gameplay from literally every single lane.
Yeah.
GG no rematch of Mr. Shmi, just the weird-ass combos in the bot lanes. The Alistar Seraphine,
It worked.
followed up by the Pike Seraphine. They both worked.
Yep.
They both worked with ease. And but just the consistency from Juggernaut in the top side, unreal.
Definitely.
Like, Alawi took game 2, like,
And like I
3v1
said,
several times.
he struggled in the first game. We saw him not do as well as he could have again on the Garen against who was it? I believe it was who was the top laner? It was someone tanky. I don't remember.
For which game?
For game 1.
He was Garen.
No, against Ohio. Who
Oh,
was
not
Ohio?
Nasus.
Yeah, he kind of lost out in the trades, in the scaling. So it was definitely good to see him kind of come back as strong as he did. So yeah, I definitely voted for Juggernaut myself. So yeah, it looks like the majority of people kind of agree with us.
Yeah, but no try also very close. I'm not even gonna lie. We can have multiple MVPs, by the way. So let that be known to all you folks out there that might be debating. We can have multiple people in the MVP spot. And Notar with 5 votes, right behind him, did an amazing job. Silas game 1 and 2, 100% just destroyed everything about Cappy. Unfortunately, you know, just took over with ease. The Silas was a great, you know, alpha first pick there. You know, like we said, normally it's a secondary, you know, in the reaction to everyone's ultis, he's like, just give me I'll play with anything. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter. And Mr. Shmee did phenomenal as well. I want to shout out to Mr. Shmee. The roams coming in from the Alistar in game number 2, or I'm sorry, in game number 1. I mean, setting up his team, being all around the map. Not to mention the Braum stacks in game number 3. Just great job.
Yeah.
Pike, I don't like
Oh,
Pike
yeah.
personally, so I'm not going to praise you on him.
But he
I'm
got
just
away
joking.
from every single engage they threw at
Every.
him. Every engage. He just
Every
magically had the E up. So, love to see it.
Yeah. It was crazy. Everyone in game number 2 was getting away with health. I don't know. It wasn't just him. I mean, Jug was, Turniips was, just everyone was diving, getting so close. One more tower hit, and the tower's like, I'm done. I can't do this.
It looks like
But
it is going to be Juggernaut. Oh, congratulations to Juggernaut. I'm gonna pull him in the caster himself.
Oh,
One of the beast of the casters.
the
Let's
beast
pull
of the
him in.
casters. The
All
caster
right,
beast.
here we go.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh my god, the caster beast himself. You are a menace on the rift. He's like, go ahead, try banning me out. I got so many picks up my sleeve, it doesn't even matter. How are you doing today, my friend?
I'm doing all right. I kind of entered game 1. Triton kind of carried me. Actually, my whole team kind of carried me game 1. But yeah,
It'd be like
That's
that,
right,
right?
You made up for it in game number 3, though. Definitely. I mean, you were just absolutely commanding. You were what, 10-1, if I'm not mistaken?
I think so. And then
11-2. 11-2.
I entered a fight bot lane, but I think I was 10-1 at one point.
Yeah.
You were. And it was a good Baron play. I mean, they were able to secure the Baron, though, so that was at least something. So it wasn't for nothing. I definitely remember that. But still, great job. The communication just absolutely phenomenal in all 3 of these games this series. I mean, did you expect to have the 3-0, or were you expecting a little bit more resistance from XRising coming into tonight's match?
We kind of always go in expecting to just be able to kind of roll over the game.
Okay.
Because of the way we play, and
Mentality.
it helps our mental a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never want to think you're going to come in second. That's for sure.
Exactly.
I mean,
Yeah.
The synergy that you guys had all the way from beginning to end of literally the first 2 games. Game number 3, a lot more shaky. They definitely did some kind of reset there. XRising was looking real good early on. I definitely thought that they were going to take it, but you said, hold on one second. I'm Trundle, baby. I don't need no ganks. I don't need nothing. Right as soon as I get this whole breaker, it's going to be over from this point. And, Ohio has some clutch roams coming in like that. You didn't really try to answer as much because you were split pushing. So, is that really just the key to everything, though? Is just
Split push
as a top laner?
Yeah, it makes the games a lot easier when you're at least able to split push. It's having at least one person that can split push and having a winning side lane matchup is really, it makes the games a lot easier in my opinion.
Yeah.
And yeah, we did have a little bit of a shaky start game 3, but I mean my jungler called it after that dragon play where we only got 1 kill off of it, but he called it. He was like, yeah, this game's over. I think we were still 2-5 at that point, but
Oh,
he was
wow.
like, no, we're gonna be able to pull this one back.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I do have a question for you, because speaking of Game 3, though, because I feel like a lot of it came down to communication between you and your teammates being like, okay, we know we're losing on the other side of the map. Just keep doing what you're doing, because you're taking towers, and you didn't join in any fight. Like, I don't think there was a single, 5v5 team fight that you're part of the entire first half of the game. Was that something you guys coordinated? As soon as, like you said, as soon as they saw that they were getting killed, did they just say, "Hey, you've got this. No matter what fight we get into, do not TP. Do not try to engage in this. Just split push."
Well, so you know me, right? I
Right.
do not team fight very often. And it's weird actually because to some degree there's the general knowledge is like when you're behind you want to go to a team fight and try to catch back up, but in reality it actually helps a lot when you're behind to split push and just leave your team to their own devices. And when you're ahead you can kind of group more and get more out of it. But it's one of the things that our team does really well is when they're behind, they are able to find some crazy plays and win them. And even when it's 4v5 and they're behind, they can still end up winning crazy fights that they have no business winning.
Yeah.
And so I know that I am just going to be able to get global gold from the towers and help get them back in the game that way. And by doing that, that's the strategy that we've come up with to kind of
Yeah,
do that.
and that definitely got you through the early game. Like we've
Oh,
seen, it was rough, but that gold was so important to get all of those towers and make sure that your team finally was able to catch back up in items and all of that to kind of end the game. So good job on that.
Yeah, and coming up, in today's or not in today's, this week's later matchup, once again, it's going to be Ago versus We Hate Renekton. Who were you kind of hoping to verse in the finals out of those two?
I don't know if I'd say I'm hoping to face one or the other. I do think Goat will take it. No Flame. I see Galax in the Twitch chat here, and he said we'll see him in finals, and we'll see about that. You've been you kind of trolled the regular season a little bit there, buddy. Um, but yeah, whoever wins, it's we'll see him in finals, I guess.
Okay, I like that answer. So it's like it doesn't really matter the winner because we're gonna meet you there anyway. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
congratulations,
The hardest
on
teams
doing
are
that.
already knocked out, unfortunately. Sitting on wards and Shrimp
Wow.
Gang are both already gone,
Yep.
so should be
Yeah.
a nice relaxing finals.
Oh wow. Okay, so
Wow.
that's
All
the
right.
mentality going into that. That'll be next week, folks. Definitely catch it here. We already have one half completed. That's gonna be Turniips Tots, and I mean, I love y'all. You guys have a great name. You guys have a great team. You guys have been really strong throughout the entirety of this series, the entire regular season, at least first or second place every single week, week in and week out. And I mean, with that being said, I really don't have any other questions. You have any shout outs you want to say or any last words you want to say here for the evening?
I just the usual. I mean, I got a really strong team behind me, and like even when I don't perform, right, game one, my team is able to just kind of carry me to a victory, and in that case, a much more commanding victory than when I did well.
Right.
So I'm really lucky to have a team that not only puts up with my split pushing, but actually likes it, and yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna get a shirt that just says "Split Push OP" and then just like Juggernaut on the back. Like,
Hold on. Sorry, I got one more thing that I just remembered. I got to shout out Fridge from Sitting on Wards who convinced me to play the Trundle top game 3. He's he kind of egged me on that one, and
okay.
it turned out well. But love you, Fridge. We're doing this for you, among other people.
Yes, definitely. Fridge also a really formidable top laner as well. So, yeah. With that being said, I mean, Wookie, what are your final thoughts on today's match overall?
What a great game. You guys were really dominating. It felt a little shaky at game 3, but you guys managed to just stick to your comp. I think that was the main part of that is why you won. You stick to that split pushing comp that we saw in literally all of the games. So I think that definitely got you the win overall. So good job, guys. It makes for a great gameplay here to see that.
Yeah, glad you guys enjoyed it.
Yes, thank you so much. But later on this week, we have the second half of our semifinals matchup: Ago versus We Hate Renekton. And what time is that going to be going down again, Wookie?
That is going to be A7, I think. Let me look. I think it's either 7 or 8.
I believe 7 o'clock as well. A little bit of a late start. No, I'm sorry, it's 8 o'clock.
8
It
o'clock.
is eight
Yeah.
o'clock. Eastern Standard Time. That's going to be this Saturday. We Hate Renekton versus Goat. I mean, it's going to be a great series. We could see another 3-0, or we could see all the way to Game 5. Who knows? But you won't know unless you check it out. So thank you to everyone who did tune in tonight. Super appreciative of you guys always sticking through it. This was a great series here from XRising and Turniips Tots. Turniips Tots took it 3-0, moving on to finals here. And then come next week, we'll have the finals ourselves. And I am very much looking forward to that. And I believe this Saturday we have a TriCast on that game. And it's going to
Yes.
be Lupul, Crewman, and none other than Primus, the Ancient himself. He has not been in here for a very long time, and he gets in on the semifinals. I can't wait to see you, Primus.
All right. Well, with that, that's about it. And yeah, everybody have a great night.
Great night, everyone. Peace.
Peace.